Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados right here live on Thinking Critical YouTube. We had an interesting week in comic books. We got a few things to talk about. There's always some news during solicitation week. Some stuff happened in Batman the Night. We'll also get to a lot of Marvel news. We've got the Amazing Fantasy 1000 to get to. They've lost. I almost said Jim Lee. I was wrong, Mr. Lee there.
They licensed Stan Lee. Marvel, you've reached a new low.
That's why you got to read the articles, Fatal J, and you won't be surprised.
No, I already knew about that one. I read that one. I can't believe they hoard him out like that.
He's probably not.
Can the man rest in peace?
That's what I say. You got a point there, Fatal J. So we do have a fantastic panel for you today. We've got first up, we got Kenneth. How you doing, Kenneth?
I'm doing wonderful, Wes. I'm doing better than Naomi. I'll tell you that. So
normally you're sporting the Marvel gear. I like supporting the main topic with the Batman shirt.
That's right. Batman and Spider-Man every day.
So Batman's your side piece, but Spider-Man's your main boo.
No, the other way around.
I just proved to you off air that you like DC more than Marvel. You just told me that.
No, that is not what I said. I
Okay,
said Marvel Universe is my main universe, but Batman for a long time is my main character.
And I asked you if Justice League and Avengers, and you told me Justice League. You're a DC fan. Thank you so much.
That's not what I was saying. I say DC has the most powerful characters. Justice League would definitely beat Avengers, but I love Marvel. So
watch this. Who got the best villains?
You already sidetracked the show, man. What are you doing?
This guy.
Jesus. Kenneth, don't listen to that man. He's not in charge.
I love Kenneth, man. I love Kenneth. Kenneth is my dude. I love Kenneth.
Kenneth's a good guy. He's all right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's a big old Batman fan. Appreciate that. Who else we got here? We got Fatal J himself. We have a question from Eric O'Sullivan, Fatal J. When are you going to do a Fatal J plushie?
If the man is out there, I will give you one, and it will have this pose like this.
Will it have a breakfast burrito, or will it have a bowl of
That
cereal?
will be one of the accessories, and another one will be tissue paper because after the burritos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what happens after you eat burritos, right? So I have a roll of tissue paper with the plushie.
So what's going on the Fatal J YouTube channel? If you want to support Fatal J and you haven't subscribed to his channel, there is a link in the video description. What's going on over there at Fatal J?
Okay,
Still talking about Lord of the Rings? Are you back on top?
Things. I'm just to make a big change on my channel. One of the biggest things is I'm going to be talking about bow-legged midget strippers real soon, and I'm also going to be talking about.
Stop making fun of T. Franklin.
No, listen. I'm going to also start doing a documentary piece on Stephen Q. Urkel and Pee Wee Herman, because those are my two idols that I've idolized. Those are the man of all men. And I just want to start focusing my content on those three things right there. So the Fatal J channel is going to go through a big change, ladies and gentlemen. So please bear with me. Thank you so much.
So you're no longer going to dabble in comic books. You're going to start dabbling in Urkel, huh?
I'm going to dabble in Urkel. I'm going to be dabbling in midget strippers. And it's just going to be.
Did you watch the Big Show on Netflix?
No.
It's got like a 40-year-old Urkel on that show as a supporting character, and he's still hilarious.
Urkel is back?
Yeah, he was in that show. I think there's one season. Maybe there's two.
Okay. I'm not big on meeting celebrities, but I got to meet Urkel before I die. I have to.
We all have to.
Pee Wee Herman, too.
Absolutely.
Oh, and this is the thing, too. I'm waiting until somebody on this panel say the S word too. I'm not going to say the S word today, but I'm waiting for somebody on this panel to say the S word. Just think about it. I know y'all puzzled right now.
No. As soon as I get a chance to tweak you about it, I'm going to, like I always do. That's what I do. Who else we got here? We got Drew from Comics League. What's going on, Drew? What you guys doing at Comics League? You got any CODs coming up? You got anything on your channel? What's going on?
Most of the crew is at MegaCon right now. I'm staying behind because I got a script I'm working on right now, and yeah, so everyone's at MegaCon. So if you're in Florida and in the Orlando area, go check out our booth. We have a lot of cool exclusives at the show this weekend.
Very nice. Definitely go out there and support the fellows over at Comics Elite. We've also got Josh. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing well, man. My allergies are kind of kicking my butt today. So if you see me like randomly crying, I promise I'm not crying. Or if I'm sniffing, I'm not doing cocaine either. So just throwing that out there.
Okay, Amber Heard.
I know, right? Hold on. Let me get I don't have a tissue here. Let me get my fake tissue. I'm going to pose for the camera.
This is a blow. It was a sniff.
Yeah, and Jay, I just wanted to say I have no problem with the S word. Shitty directors are a dime a dozen.
It's true. It's very true.
See, I told. Did I say it wasn't going to be me to bring it up? I told you it's going to be either one of these guys right here. It might be Doc. Doc, you there?
I don't care about that fucking stupid movie director.
Nobody does. That's the problem. All right, Doc, you're the last guy up. When are you going to start a YouTube channel? Because the viewers have been demanding it for a while now.
I am way too fucking lazy to make
Well, at least you
videos
didn't
on a
say
regular
busy.
basis. No, fuck that. I'm just lazy. I got other shit I could do. Honestly, if I did a fucking YouTube channel, more than likely it'd be me fucking around in my wood shop, like messing something up.
Yeah, that's
Listen,
a big
Although
thing.
that would
You
actually
can make a
probably
lot of money
moderately
doing wood
amusing.
shop on YouTube.
I know I can. Plus,
I subscribe to a couple of those channels. It's
So do I. There's a
YouTube
couple. There's just one dude in Chicago doing this whole old building that he's converting into his studio and his house and everything. It was like this abandoned, condemned warehouse. It's fucking rad. He's been doing it for like 2 years.
I would say that's like an entire program. Like,
Oh, it is. It's so good. If you're really in the if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, Modustrial Maker. It's fucking
I'm
awesome.
subscribed to a guy that's building an arcade in his house, and I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We must be growing up. We must be old men.
We
to
are.
enjoy watching
We're old fucking men.
We're all old here.
Well,
Except for Josh, he's a millennial.
Josh is way too pretty to be that old.
Josh, you in your 20s?
No, I'm in my 30s.
Oh, I'm about to say
He's
that
30.
explains everything.
I
He's
am
30.
33. I almost said 34, but I'm 33.
Oh, okay.
Nice years. Nice.
Very nice. So I don't know. We should probably get into this. There's a big thing that happened this week. We had what appeared to be potentially a curious bisexual, perhaps gay Batman debut in Batman the Night number. I think it's number 5. What did you think about this, Drew? I know you guys have the comic shop. I imagine you saw this.
Kyle and I talked about this. At this point, the truth is, why not? They've done it for practically almost every other character. Just wait. Clark and Lois are next. I guarantee it. We're going to see Clark and Midnighter on World embracing one another because he just lost Apollo, and we're going to see Lois with Maggie Sawyer or Maxima or Harley. It's coming. Just wait. It's out time.
Or Superman becomes Superwoman and Lois becomes Larry Lane.
Ooh. There we go.
Well,
I
they
think that
probably have
happened
that on
before.
Earth 11, you know?
Yeah, that happened before. I remember.
No,
that.
surgically.
Oh,
Oh, we haven't done that yet.
Doc is
Kind
over
of strange. I don't get it. It sounded like you had some stuff you wanted to say about this. I think you mentioned it in the comments. What's your perspective on this?
Well, but if you go through the history of Batman, and I forget what today's climate is today, but if you go through the history of Batman, this is not the only time that his sexuality or the appearance of it has been in question. In fact,
Well,
I
he
watched
certainly slept with Robin in the same bed. It was kind
Yeah.
of strange.
well in those panels when Dick Grayson, when he became Robin and stuff, and there were panels when they were like sleeping in the same beds, and people were concerned by that, so they had to separate that and remake their image. But also, because in fact, Perch did a video on the same topic, and if you read the book, nothing really. I mean, you look at a picture of them looking eyes and Google eyes, but really, if you look at it, you get the full context. There's nothing there. They're just looking at.
Well, that's why it's hinted at. They certainly didn't confirm it.
well, y'all remember back in the Adam West days, they were trying to say Robin and Batman was,
Yeah.
yeah.
They've been trying to ship them for years.
Yeah, they were trying to messed them up for a long time.
No, it goes all the way back to Frederick Wortham, Seduction of the Innocent, back to what 1950, 1945 when he wrote that. So yeah.
Can we get the comics code back?
Please.
Man, can you imagine Doc in charge of the Comics Code Authority? It's so out of whack. Like, why is this okay and that not? I don't get it.
Because violence is already fine. It's superhero comics.
What did you think, Fatal J? Obviously, I sent you a few articles on this one. I imagine you read the comic book. Do you think that DC were trying to buy bait people? That the hint that maybe Batman is bisexual, or do you think people are taking it out of context?
I'm not sure. I did check out that panel, and it did seem kind of odd. I just don't know where all this is coming from, man. Like, can you at least build up the story instead of just, oh yeah, he's bi. You know, build it up, make it interesting to let us know what's going on. Just to randomly wake up one day and say Batman is a bi character, because let's keep it real. Batman is the ladies' man. He's the man that we all look up to. He's the ultimate man. He's mysterious. The women love him. He doesn't stay long, so the women love him a lot. He know how to kick butt. He's the ultimate man. He's the man's man.
Jay, it comes down to one simple reason. Any fool with 2 fingers and a typewriter can make Batman gay. It takes talent. It takes talent to write a coherent story.
Yes, sir.
They don't have the talent.
Pretty coherent. I mean, there's a reason he does.
No, they don't have talent.
No, man. No, it's not.
They don't have talent, but they do have a bunch of fools with 2 fingers and typewriters.
So you saying they typing like?
Look, Infinite Monkeys, Infinite Typewriters, Shakespeare, but all they're getting is the stuff that's not Shakespeare from their Infinite Monkeys and Infinite Typewriters.
Look, this is what I don't understand. Okay, you have made the characters gay. Why is this still a campaign? Why is this still going? Why do you have to? Is you getting to the point where you want to touch the big 3? And the big Marvel characters, the A-list characters, the A-list DC characters, are you trying to get to that point?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we got there with Wonder Woman like forever ago.
Yeah, Superman's bisexual.
But you know, Wonder Woman is actually understandable from where she's from. I could see that happening with no men being on the island. But I just don't understand it with Batman and Superman. I just don't understand why you need to go there. I just don't get that.
So they can claim it. They planted their flag there. It's like, hey, we took this. Take that, you incels.
All right. Now, listen.
Wait, hold on.
We have a certified gay on the panel. Josh, answer for your peoples.
Wait, I think you need to make sure you get my title correctly. Like, when people are doctors, they expect to be called doctor, whatever. I need you to make sure you say
gay homosexual Josh from McDonald's.
There we go. This was established in our video earlier this week, guys. If you didn't watch it,
yes, I did, and it was fucking great.
It was hilarious. I don't think Wes has ever made me laugh that hard. Look, I'm not surprised. I think this is kind of like DC's thing. I think they're doing it for shock value. I think they're doing it for conversation. As I said in our video, I think DC will do anything right now to get some type of conversation going about their books. That's not strictly just like, God, this sucked, which, I mean, that's still going on, but you're getting other conversations as well. But regardless, they're getting exposure from it. It's going to sell some books. People are going to pick it up to see what's going on. Plot-wise, I don't think there's much in the way here that actually says it, but it does open it up to the idea. And I didn't convey this message very well, but in the video, Wes and I did. But my thing is how the art depicts it. There's so much that can be said through body language. And I think that's what's so different. Yes, I understand the history. I understand Wortham. I get the whole Robin thing. Look, Robin was just scared of the dark, y'all. He couldn't sleep alone. But for this in this book, the bridge and the touching, and yes, I know that it was Anton touching Bruce, but Bruce was accepting of the touching and didn't like do anything to step. But I'm being honest. If you had a guy go up to a straight guy and he was like, like very intimately touching you, you'd probably be like, no, I'm good, bro. Thanks.
Well, Fatal J touches me like that. We ain't hanging out like in that spot very long. You know what I mean?
Look, I just want to say this.
Can
Can I say this real quick, Doc? I know you used to say something. If you keep clickbaiting comic books, don't that make people don't take comic books seriously anymore? Like at some point, comic books was a masterpiece when it comes to storytelling, and now it's becoming a joke.
Well, that's sort of where I was going to go with this. It's the law of diminishing returns. We've seen it with everything marketing wise comics has done, from new relaunches, like new number ones, variant covers. Every time they have to keep going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to get the same return that they did from the first time. Gender swapped characters, race swapped characters, trans characters. Every time they have to go a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger. DC is at the point where they've diminished the returns from making Alan Scott gay. So you go with like the D-list Green Lantern all the way. Now they've done it all the way up through Superboy. Well, they can't go bigger than Batman. That's the point. They're trying to get that same bump, single issue, one issue sales bump before the sales crater forever. That they did from the first time, Alan Scott came out. But they need to do it with bigger and bigger and bigger characters in a bigger and bigger way in order to get the same shitty return that they did 10 years ago on a D-list Green Lantern. And now they have to do it with Batman to get the same bump. That's what it comes down to. The comics
did it work?
No, I don't think it did.
True, did it work? Did people come in and pick this up out of curiosity?
No. Ernie hasn't ordered that much of this book. Honestly, he orders, I think, 5 copies at the most. But still, I mean, people are buying it for the variant cover. Variant covers are pretty damn good. But no one's really reading it. No one really cares. In our store, apparently.
Never mind. Sorry, Doc.
But that's the thing. They need to. It's stunt bullshit. All comics has at this point, because they don't have talent. They got a bunch of fools with 2 fingers and a typewriter, and
I agree.
No talent. So the only thing they have in order to try to get, news coverage, try to get anything, try to get a sales bump, the only thing they have is stunts. That's it. We're at full on stunts exclusively, and they're running out of stunts now. They ran out of people to do the stunts with, and now they're just running out of stunts.
They can't kill people anymore, and they just killed the Justice League. We've had enough mantle swaps. We've got a new Superman. We've got another Batman. Pretty much the entire Justice League is about to get replaced. Where
we've had enough relaunches.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know we're running out of stuff. It's time to go back to some really cool 3D covers, Doc. That's what we need.
Honest. Well, see, the thing is, that just gets you right into variants and gimmicks. They're already doing it. Now, maybe we're going to get more chromium covers, but they just did that on the fucking Free Comic Book Day book. And what? I think Larry had a picture of his fucking curled like a, I don't know, rolled up toilet paper.
But Doc, I prefer those type of gimmicks than this gimmick right here.
It curled up
Chromium
like Doc's
covers,
dong to the
covers.
left. You know what I mean? Right, Doc?
Yep. Just going right. No, mine actually curves to the right a little bit. I'm much kind of like golfing. I slice a lot. I was never really good with hitting a hook, but I do have a slice in my game.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
We get it.
It's kind of like clickbait magazines and clickbait YouTube channels. You don't take them seriously. Look, I'm one of the clickbait channels. So I know people don't take you seriously. But I'm just
You beat me
saying,
to it.
I'm just saying, man. People start to take this whole genre not seriously when you do stuff like this. Like people,
I'm saying, why not? I mean, at this point, it's like, why not? Just go for it. I don't care. You've driven singles down so low.
People saying, "Oh, this is groundbreaking. Bruce Wayne have stepped it up." Are people saying that, or are people laughing at this?
No, people. We've reached the point where everyone's just laughing at it. They don't even take it fucking seriously anymore. They're like,
seriously.
well, fuck. I mean, that's why I made the joke. Next month, it's gonna be Clara, Kent and Larry Lane.
Look,
Because they're going to both go under the
Bobby,
knife. They're for their anniversary. They'll both go under the knife and get transitioned together.
When Bobby from the X-Men, the Iceman, when they first said that about him coming out, everybody's like, "Oh snap!" Like that made the comic world kind of like, "What's going on here?" But now it's going on too much. It's going on too much.
And both you and Doc Fatal J are making good points. Like you have some people who are the virtue signal crowd that's saying this is a very step forward to inclusion and acceptance. But like Doc said, most of the people, at least at this point, see it as just a cheap joke. Like this is not, because they know in the long stream of things, this is not going to last. Like a year, maybe 2 years from now, no one's going to be talking about this. You're going to have Batman in its traditional sense, who he is, like what you're saying before, Fatal J, stopping crime, stopping criminals, getting on with Selena Kyle, Catwoman is going to go back to
Poison Ivy, whoever.
Right.
It's kind of like the same. It's a different version of the same exact headline every single day now. We've got varied headlines now, Josh. You just insert character name, comes out. It's like, okay.
Pretty much.
It does become like you just kind of start rolling your eyes after a while.
Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. And then real quick, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't it seem like that's making the community like they're just using the community?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like
I thought it was just me.
They're just trying to get buy-in. It's the same thing. Like we talked about this many times. They're trying to win over a community by doing gimmicks like this, and they're completely neglecting the characters or missing the point of the characters or not representing the characters properly. And it's like, you know what? If you wanted to do something gay, and you wanted to have it go year round and not just do it in June because you're getting called out for that, then take your gay characters and do like a short story, do a 6-issue arc or do a maxi 12-issue arc. Let it run for the year. You did what you set out to do. Yeah. But they keep doing this and it's like, hey, look, we see you. Hey, Pride's coming. Woo woo. Rainbow flags. It's gay.
What were you going to say there, Kenneth? I'm sorry that you got interrupted.
No. That's okay. In fact, I want to speak on what Fatal J spoke to earlier. He made a very good point about describing Batman, how he's a man of action, a ladies' man. But also, the same thing could be said about James Bond. And James Bond and Batman have similar things. If you read this entire book, the subject of this book is about espionage, going undercover, pretending to be someone you're not. That's where the missions they're going on, right?
It's true.
And you guys, did any of you guys see Skyfall?
Yeah, no, I quoted that in our review video where where Bruce Wayne was doing what James Bond did to
exactly
his character. Like, how do you know I didn't? Insert brushes his leg.
Exactly. They're just pretending they're playing roles. And even Anton, there's a scene there where Anton is full out making out with the guy. Now people are looking at, they can say he's gay, but no, they establish in the book that Anton is much better at seducing people and getting people to do what they want than Bruce is, at least at that stage in the story. So, and then if you look at this context, Bruce, they looks at his eyes, wherever, but then later on in the next scene, you see Bruce only did that to retrieve that object from him. And he accomplished his goal, which is Bruce Wayne will cheat, do everything he will do to win. And that's how Bruce learns to become better at espionage. So, but then, and the people who write these headlines, whatever, some of them were not really real critics. They're, like I said, they're virtue signal, social justice people who want to get a win in their column. This is a vote for change, but it's not. If you look at the entire book in its context, it's just there. And Josh, please help me if I'm saying this right, but these Bruce and Anton are not practicing homosexuals. They're just pretending, learning.
I think Anton is.
You think he is? But maybe he was committing to the role. Like if James Bond in his career was in a situation where he had to pretend to be someone who's gay or something, he's trained to do whatever he can to accomplish his mission. And Bruce Wayne is doing it. And maybe, like I said, Anton is better at seducing people maybe Anton had to full on kiss that guy to get what he needed. So, maybe he is, maybe not. I'm not saying. So.
I don't even want to think about Skyfall no more, because wasn't that the James Bond movie when they had him naked in that chair and they was hitting
Casino Royale. Casino Royale.
Bro, that was like the worst torture known to man. Have y'all ever seen that movie?
No, what's crazy is that crap was in the book. Oh my god.
But was he hitting him? Was he hitting him in the testicles? Was he hitting him in the testicles though?
Yep.
Yeah, his manhood.
Speedbagging him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to ever watch that movie again. That made my stomach hurt.
So what we're saying then is Bruce is a honeypot.
Potentially. We do have some viewer comments here. We've got Cal Lyle. Tom King took baths with his mom. Anywho, Doc, I'm glad you like the sketch I sent you of story.
What?
Yep, sounds about right.
Maybe. Did you like the sketch? Was it good?
Yeah, sure. It was nice. I liked it. Thanks, Callum.
Well, thank you very much. We've got Lade Kramer. Today, I turned to Darkseid going to get the first ratio variant. New Mutants 25, 1 of 50 art germ. I'm spending $50 on a V. Diala comic. Someone please save me. Doc and I review that entire comic book on Monday.
But still, don't do it. No Vita Ayala comic ever published is even worth the cover price. You wait for it in the dollar bin if you're going to buy it.
But it's art germ.
I don't care.
They
could have actually... You know what? I gave up on variants after the X-Men color era, but I don't care if you dragged Herb Trimp's corpse out of the grave, gave him a pencil, and had him redraw the original cover, and you actually got the original pencils for Hulk 181 on that cover, I would still not. The minute you staple it to a Vita Ayala comic, it's worth less.
Well, the contents really are insignificant in this one, but hey, you might have a problem, Lane Kramer, if you're going to spend $50 on a Vita Ayala comic.
Lane, if you're just patient, you'll probably end up getting an art germ coffee table book released within the next 5 years that'll have this cover in there, and you'll spend like $35.
Yep.
And then you'll get all the art germ goodness, probably in a larger format.
Absolutely. We've got Cal Lyle. We all know that the Riddler will have a mommy, wife, or girlfriend, and if he kills kids, it'll prove my theory on Tom King hating his own kids. I'm assuming this is talking about Batman One Bad Day, Riddler.
Yeah. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about that a little bit later. I don't know about Tom King. I assume that he loves his kids. Being a dad is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I assume most other fathers out there feel the same way. See, Fatal J's with me. Oh. He's just got a cat. I'm kidding. I know you got a little boy. Darth Bobcat crying because he's our cocaine.
I want to go on record. I have never done cocaine in my life.
Man, you were a screenplay writer in Hollywood. I believe you.
Oh no, I have stories about going to some of those networking parties, but I never did. I have enough sinus issues that I don't need that in my life.
Well, cleaned you right
Go
up.
watch Cocaine Cowboys 2. That is a dope documentary.
Kyle Wild says, I'm too lazy to be angry at gay Superman or MCU She-Hulk. Buy his code for gay in comics. They'll probably say Catwoman was always a transgender. A man can get pregnant now. You know they'll do that. So it's interesting that you bring up She-Hulk. I know, Fatal J, you had thoughts on She-Hulk. Did you enjoy the trailer?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. That was the most horrible Marvel trailer I ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it looked like it was something I made up. Like, was they serious? It looked like, Shrek's wife.
Fiona.
What's her name?
Fiona.
Like Fiona, man. The graphics. Oh, man.
Hey. Don't talk like that. I know you've got a Fiona porn collection. Don't talk like that.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I dressed up as Shrek one year.
Why does this not even slightly surprise me?
Actually, Fiona looked better than what they did with She-Hulk, to be honest.
I agree, and this hurts me, man, because She-Hulk is actually, I think she's my favorite Marvel lady.
She's a lot of people's favorite character. That John Byrne one, yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, and if they do the breaking the fourth wall She-Hulk, they could have a killer on their hands, man. But this show is gonna suck if they don't fix their CGI.
They're supposed to do that. I think story-wise, it'll be fine. They're going for something that's not the standard. You know, I will say the CGI does not look good. I do think it's going to improve. How much will it improve? That remains to be seen. But they've got 3 months before the first episode airs, and then you basically
what they do with Sonic the Hedgehog. He looked good in the end.
And you have like 4 to 5 months before the series actually ends. So they've got plenty of time to go through and clean it up. I do think it was a poor choice to go ahead and decide to put that footage in there because you're automatically getting a negative, commentary on the what?
Yeah, here's the thing. The same people that are working on this show are the same type of people that think that Sony getting, or whatever the fuck it was that got memed so hard for Sonic, to the point where they changed it, thought that the studio was wrong to go back and fix it. So more than likely, the harder we meme on it right now, the less likely they are to actually fix it.
Well, just the thing about it, that's what made me actually watch the movie, because I never had intentions to watch Sonic. I could give a freak. But when they went back and changed that for the fans, that made me want to support them.
I know that
it's good. What are you talking about?
No, it's not. It's something.
Yeah, it is.
What? Fuck you. It's good.
You're
It's a
idiot.
good movie. It's probably
one. Idiot. That was mean.
It's right up there with it's near the top of like video game adaptation movies.
Doc, you like the Sonic movie?
Yes, I thought it was very good.
It
was fun. It was mostly fan service. It was enjoyable, and there was no like ridiculous messaging, and they kept it relatively as close as they could, true to the lore, while having Sonic in our world.
Do I need to watch the second movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, Sonic has saved us twice now. It saved us from Birds of Prey, and it saved us from freaking Morbius. Like, let's just love Sonic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I saw Morbius last night. Oh my gosh. Why did they make that?
But
that's a whole nother. That's another lane to go down to. So
okay, I would tell
doesn't look like She-Hulk's going to be a winner. I'm just kind of out on the MCU on Disney Plus. I don't think any of the shows have been really good.
Wes, they have no winners yet.
No
winners yet. I haven't seen anything.
The best one probably is Hawkeye, and like it's
that's so bad.
See, I would put WandaVision, and I thought, and I said this last time, I thought Moon Knight as a whole, beginning to end, even though it steps away from some of its comic lore, which is pretty vast in general, but I thought it was a better beginning to end story because it didn't try to do too much shit. And if we want to talk about CGI, Moon Knight had really good CGI there at the end.
I didn't even watch it.
But
it started off super slow, and then finally, like episode 4, it really got going and it delivered. But it felt like it ramped up and climaxed and gave a conclusion that was a good conclusion versus like.
That's what my wife said last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I knew somebody was gonna say something like that.
Wow.
He told me the closer.
but yeah, Josh.
Mr. DC,
I'm sorry, Wes.
Sorry, Kenneth. What were you saying?
No, to Josh's point earlier about them fixing She-Hulk, I hope you're right about that, Josh, because like you said, Wes, with these Disney Plus shows, their track record is, for the most part, terrible. Now, with Moon Knight, the best thing about Moon Knight was Oscar Isaac's performance.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to come back to, because he still has a thriving movie career. I don't think you're going to get him to do streaming or television again. So
from what I've heard in response to other than what Josh said here, you know, singing its praises, or well, not necessarily singing its praises, but giving it a positive review. This does nothing to change my opinion that Oscar Isaac is a solid actor that picks the worst projects on the planet. Everything he does is a shit project.
All right, guys, we've gone far afield. Let's go back to Mr. DC Comics. He says Ghostmaker is bi, so I'm not surprised. Is Anton Ghostmaker, Josh?
Is he?
So I guess people are saying that Zdarsky confirmed this. I didn't take the time to look it up because honestly, I really don't care. But I hope he's not. I fucking hate Ghostmaker. I think it's one of the worst characters in the past 10 years that's been created, and that says a lot. Clown Hunter's right there with him, so thank God James Tynan's gone. But yeah, and look, I know we've talked about this a lot about like, in this book, he was just trying to do the mission. He was just trying to do this. And I think we all understand that. We all understand Bruce he had a mission to get this book. He got the book. He did what he needed to get the book.
Right.
I think what we're saying is every time something like this happens, you have the loudest voices, which is typically a minority, but they're loud, going, oh my God, and they're praising it and pushing it. And like one of the articles Wes sent was a lot of people praising this moment of Bruce being bi. And then you're going to have the publisher go like, oh, this is a good idea. We should just run with it. And then they're going to make it canon. And then something's going to happen. And we keep going down this like a rabbit hole of just shit.
Dark Apple March Hair, kind of continuing on that, says, do you think DC writers are just trying to throw in whatever they can with the sort of Damocles hanging over them with their new boss cleaning house? I do think there is a ton of copying in comic books in general. And when you see one person do a change on a character like that has been somewhat successful, like a John Kent, they did get a big bump there. And you're going to see people imitate that stuff because they want to get a sales bump on their comic book. They want to get a headline. They want to get some publicity for themselves as well. And that's one of the proven ways that you can actually do it. So I imagine there are a lot of editors and writers at DC Comics that would like to do moments like these to get the publicity and hopefully get some type of sales increase. Does anyone have anything to say about that?
A lot of times, it's more the editors than the writers with these ideas, and a lot of times we want to do a snap judgment, go straight to the writer, and it's just like, hey, it wasn't my call. This is what the editor wanted. So we got to hold these editors more accountable than just the writers.
100%.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Were you going to say something there, Fatal J?
No, I was just wondering this.
Is it not about the topic?
It is about the topic,
Okay.
man, but it's kind of different though. The guy that just took over Warner, Zaslav.
David Zaslav.
Does he have anything to do with cleaning the house in DC Comics too?
Yeah, he owns all of it.
So some of these people that's running these comics, is it potentially we'll see them leaving soon?
I believe so. Yeah, that's like one of the things that he's talked about. It sounded like DC Comics will fall into it.
Mr. Zaslav, please get rid of these freakers. I'm tired of them. Please.
Absolutely. That's everybody's hope and prayer. We got Wolfstein 3D. It's all short-term shock value, even if it damages the property long-term, like making David Arquette WCW champ.
Exactly.
That was so awful.
But no,
I still see the 3-tiered cage where he won it. Like, oh God.
But he's right. They have no concern and not even a single thought about what the long-term ramifications are of any of the decisions that they've made. Nobody in the comics industry does right now. They haven't thought more than 5 minutes ahead. They do these, summits and everything to plan out their storytelling for a year or two. But sales-wise, that kind of stuff, there's nobody that sits there and goes, hey, by the way, if you do this, you'll get a short-term bump, but this IP will be worthless in 2 years.
We do have some people asking about David Arquette and WCW. So here's what happened. They made a movie called Ready to Rumble with David Arquette starring in it, where all the WCW wrestlers were in it. So it was a collaboration. So they brought David Arquette onto WCW to kind of cross-promote for the movie. And I like the movie, even though it's bad. And they decided to put the championship belt on David Arquette. I believe he won it from DDP in a 3-tiered cage. It was absolutely awful. Although David Arquette is a wrestler now, he just had a death match not that long ago where he almost died. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
No wonder I've never seen him acting. That's the guy that was in the Scream movies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the moron.
Oh, okay.
The Arquette. The untalented one.
They're all untalented.
Galileo says, Diana fell in love with a man and didn't look back. I don't think an island of all women doesn't make them gay. Remember how Amazons breed in the New 52. Josh, how do they breed?
I'm trying to remember that now.
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
was-
I remember that. Yeah, it's like
I'm assuming it's xenomorphs.
No. They would find sail. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
No, I remember this story that they would find like passing sailors, and the women would go into the ship. They would make love with the sailors.
They were sirens.
But no, they would make love to them, and then they would kill them, and then they would have their children.
That's pretty
Black
cool.
Widows, sirens' beds. That's pretty disturbing.
I can understand that though.
I forget who wrote that.
It wasn't it.
Gotta be Azzarello, right?
Yes, or was it?
Yeah.
Finch?
But
he
Wonder
was the
Woman
Wonder
was
Woman
made out
writer.
of clay, right? Wasn't she made out of clay?
There's 5 origins.
Yeah.
He's got so many origins.
Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Dylan Lindsay says, I'm telling you, Wes, we're 5 years away from Clark being a secret gimp of Darkseid. They might make it an Elseworld story, but it's going to happen.
Damn it,
Can you
Dylan.
imagine that?
Ideas.
Like a kryptonite gag ball, and he's sitting there with like his nipples hanging out of a.
It's Tom King's secret script he's working on right now, I think. Yeah.
Dylan Lindsay, that was very disturbing, and you described it so well. Really vivid stuff that you got going there.
I'm now imagining them reimagining the Rocky Horror Picture Show as a comic book, and you've got like Darkseid up there singing "Sweet Transvestite," and you got Superman in like the gold suit, the gold
Singing my balls,
bikini.
Tim Curry as Batman. I'm here for it.
Awful stuff.
All the Batman villains, all the Batman villains saying, "Let's do the time dance again."
Dark Bobcat says, when Zaslav takes over, we could straight up crisis to reset the sexuality of the DC universe. The gay monitor is here to drain away the gay. We'll see what Zaslav says. Someone in the comments says that Zaslav, one of the first things that he's done is also canceled the Wonder Twin series. That was going to be based off the Mark Russell bullshit.
It was the movie. It was going to be a movie, I believe. But that was one of the first things he axed, and then went after a lot of the CW shows, and then greenlit Gotham Knights for whatever fucking reason. It looks terrible.
It looks bad, doesn't it?
It do look bad.
All I'm going to say is we're talking about Elseworlds, but when you put a sentence that says the gay monitor is here to drain away the gay, it sounds like you're now doing a porn parody. So we're giving them ideas this morning, guys. Giving them ideas.
Wolfstein 3D Doc is. All right, man. You can't be doing this stuff to me. This is like you try to kill me.
Red flag.
Doc is right.
If you Google Superman, all articles about Superman being bi, no one is talking about the story of the book. DC itself highlights only that. That is the way they market it, Josh.
Yeah, it's what the stories are about too. He hasn't done anything in the damn stories. It's about him being gay.
Sexual awakening with Jay Nakamura.
Yeah, and look, if you gave him heroic stories and he happened to be gay, I think you would have way less conversation. Actually, you might have more positive conversations about it, but it's just bad.
Yeah, the covers and everything just reiterates that, and that's kind of the only thing they can do to get a headline at this point, because they've, quite frankly, Josh, they've pigeonholed John Kent. He's not Superman.
Nope.
He's bisexual Superman.
100%.
Yeah, I think that might have been a mistake. Common Sense says Jude Ho from Squid Game seduces a VIP to betray him. That's a little different. Like, that character was gonna die, if he didn't offer to suck that guy's dick. So, I could kind of understand why he did it.
That was in Squid Game? I missed that one.
Yeah,
that was
you don't speak Korean. That's what it is. You don't know Hangul.
Man, look, I'm a big fan of Squid Game. I do not remember that part.
Oh, did I add some details to it?
Wes,
fact.
Have you ever seen the show called The Shield?
Yeah.
Ooh, great show.
That's a cop show, right?
There's an episode one. The characters
Chickless is breaking skulls.
Right, not Michael Chiklis, but one of the characters was finding these street hoods, and they jump him, take his gun, and they
he's captain.
And they force him to go down on him. Yeah, that's a scene from The Shield. Yeah, because
it's almost like what was it, Friday? I'll suck your dick for some cheeseburgers.
That wasn't Friday. That was That was Menace to Society.
Look, yeah,
This is society. I think it was great. That was a great moment.
He killed that dude for
you
saying
kill
that.
him right in the street. Yeah, like no, I'm not. No. Oh my
Oh
god.
man, that scene would go way different nowadays, Fatal J. You know what I mean?
I know it wouldn't work.
It's not the '90s anymore.
No.
First thing that comes to mind when you hear a line like that is Bob Saget from Half Baked. You ever heard of
Oh
Silk
yeah.
Smoke?
Oh man, Caleb Miles got some good points here. Fuck you, Fatal J. Sonic 2 end credit scene. I finally get to see my boy Shadow.
Look, man, I'm just saying the first Sonic was boring. The Sonic 2 might be good. Look, Sonic the Hedgehog was my childhood, man, but I don't care to see it in movie form like that. Now, Jim Carrey, he sparked my interest. I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan. To me, Jim Carrey held the movie together, the first movie. So I'm willing to watch it.
Soon. Oh, sorry to talk over you. I'm sorry, Fatal J.
No, man, you didn't. What you say?
He may be retiring soon.
Mhm.
Oh, Jim Carrey?
Yeah, he said he's done.
He don't did what all he's supposed to do.
Well, Sonic 3 is probably going to be in the future. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money. Sonic is a big franchise.
Yeah, it is.
Man, I can't just like. What's wrong with you, Fatal J?
What?
You just hate everything except for crappy Superman movies.
Look. I can't wait till Zaslav restores a certain franchise, and I'm not going to say the name. I'm going to wait for somebody else.
All I know is I've been watching Superman and Lois, and my mind is blown. That's the best version of Superman I've seen since Christopher Reeves.
That's an incredible show. I must admit, it is dope.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on that one with Aaron Sparrow, I believe, early next week. But I'd seen a little bit here and there, and I finally decided to watch it with one of my boys, and it turns out it's a really, really good Superman.
You know, that's
Really
why
Seasons.
that's why people shouldn't prejudge. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of thought his nationality was something different, like Native American or something that kind of threw me off. But after watching that show, I know, get him looking at me like I'm crazy. But after watching
I think he's talking about Clark. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not purely European Caucasian, but that doesn't matter because the show is absolutely dope. But that's what kind of had me like,
He just has very angular features.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler
it's the
Hoechlin.
shadow.
Yeah.
But he's great though. He's great.
Yeah, he's a great he's a great Superman.
Yeah.
And very good Clark.
Mhm.
Yes, he
Better
is.
Clark. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's
Common
not better
Sense
than you
says-
know who though.
Common Sense says there are two sides to the coin of criticism of the MCU She-Hulk. The CGI and people criticize that She-Hulk actress don't have enough muscles and smaller than Hulk.
My
She-Hulk's
problem.
supposed to be smaller. She's not supposed to be grotesquely large.
Yeah.
If you're doing the John Byrne version of the character, which is the definitive version of the character.
She's supposed to be like female bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Gina Carano like 10 years ago.
There's a lot of like female bodybuilders out there that are just like completely cut. Gina Carano was always a little more bulky. But yeah, I mean, look,
She was bulky in Deadpool.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I think the problem is her just very randomly varying height in this show. Like sometimes she's only as tall as like the actual actress, and other times she's almost as tall as Bruce.
No, but if you look at the trailer, Doc, she's slender.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's a
understand.
part where she's showing her.
She-Hulk's supposed to have badass legs. They're supposed to be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the WWE wrestler? Her name was she
China.
dated the Clune.
Oh, Stacy Keibler.
Stacy
Keibler.
Keibler.
She's
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah.
like that.
She was
Yes.
fine. Man.
But more.
Yeah,
It's like
a little bit more bulky.
Yeah, just take Charlotte Flair, but give her some curves.
See, that's
Yeah,
what I
her
thought.
face.
Josh, I thought these were supposed to be. You know what I mean? But when you look at the trailer, they're. I don't want to get.
She's not up. She's not up to like Pam Anderson level.
But I thought she was supposed to be
Cans.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah,
level.
In Burns, in most of the She-Hulk runs, yes, she was rather stacked.
I can live without that as long as the CGI is good and the comedy's funny. But
Well, the
I've given
CGI
up
is
hope
not
on the MCU stuff on Disney Plus. I just have.
Besides the CGI, the trailer looked fun. But if the CGI is not right, doesn't that defeat the purpose of a She-Hulk show?
I don't know. They got the green chick from what was it? Star Trek when they rebooted that. She looked perfectly fine. The green lady in Guardians of the Galaxy looks fine. They should be able to do that.
Yeah, but that's not CGI. They just painted her green.
They should probably just paint her green. Is my point.
No,
Yeah,
but she don't have the muscles.
Yeah,
She
Tatiana
needs the
Malay.
muscles.
Tatiana Maslany.
Tatiana Maslany, she's way too short and way too skinny.
Right.
But
If you just paint her green, it's gonna look like the old Hulk show back in the 70s. It won't look real.
Well, it would also. She's like 5'1", and having a 5'1" Hulk would be weird.
Hugh Jackman was able to pull off 6-foot Wolverine. You know,
he didn't.
Are all right as long as she's able to encompass the character. Everyone likes that Wolverine, but you, Doc.
I think they got Tatiana Maslany for the acting ability, and the girl can act. She's an incredible actress. And I think they are trying to do that balance of breaking the fourth wall and being tongue-in-cheek, but also getting someone that can be intense, and she can do those things. She can also be incredibly emotional. So I think the acting, again, isn't going to be the problem. They've just got to fix the CGI. And I'll repeat what I said last week. We found out that Kevin Feige has no say in these trailers anymore. Like, he can't. I think if Kevin Feige had a say, you wouldn't have seen She-Hulk except for maybe one spot, and that's it.
Yeah, it's Arad's wife doing all that stuff now. I think she's the head of all that stuff.
Yep. Cal Weil says it wouldn't surprise me if they make Catwoman transgender. Like a man. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of these things with the characters.
It's coming.
It's the only thing they can do to get a headline in bump sales anymore. The Doctor says, remember when Paul Levitz interfered with the Authority because Midnighter and Apollo were more popular at the time than Batman and Superman? Bet DC wishes it could go back in time now.
But here's the thing: I honestly
put him in his place. Tell him he's wrong. I'm not gonna stop you.
No. But no, I have no problem with LGBT superheroes and characters. But if they're going to do it, why not do established ones? At this climate, do a Midnight and Apollo series of comic book and explore their relationship. Why do you have to take main characters and force them to be that way? Or like what you were saying about with John Kent Superman was the same thing with Miles Morales Spider-Man. They only like him because he's a black Spider-Man, but they're not exploring anything interesting, at least not in the comic books. Now, maybe the movies, that's a different story, but why not do it with the
comics are bad for
Miles? Because it's not enough to give the activists what they want. They have to take away something that you have. That's what it comes down to every single time. It's not enough to give them a prominent gay superhero. You must take away a prominent straight superhero in the process. You must take away a prominent white superhero, a male superhero, a whatever superhero. You must take something away from the quote unquote oppressor class in order to satisfy the activist class.
Right. And with that, right. And the She-Hulk show, it's not just the CGI that's bad. There's an exit where she's saying, I don't want to be a superhero like a billionaire narcissist or this or playboys, blah, blah. You're disrespecting Thor and Captain America and stuff. These heroes, they saved the world twice over. It's like this new phase of the MCU. They're trashing on previous phases that made them successful in the first place.
I'll excuse it for She-Hulk because the whole point is to break the fourth wall, and I think it's I think it's
the Marvel
fine.
Universe on trial before, right?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that was a good comic book, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I stopped you on a roll, man. I feel
I was just saying, I don't mind it. If there's ever a show that's going to do it, I think if you're going to have She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall, this is the one to say, like, most superheroes are strangely adult orphans and billionaires. Right. I think it's fine. I think that's them pulling that fourth wall thing. But, if you have, like, Captain America coming up, and that's what he's saying, then I think you're on a different train at that point.
They are going to that well and kind of cutting the balls off or the knees off of a lot of the characters. We saw, who was it? Peacemaker was doing the DC universe, but I think obviously those were jokes. But I think eventually, pointing out everything that's wrong and highlighting everything stupid about your heroes is a bad idea.
Agreed.
Well, Josh,
says, sorry.
I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. My apologies. But no, if they can do it respectfully, like you're saying, Josh, then that's fine. But it's like in a series and other shows, they've been doing it. They've been trashing the past phases of the MCU. But if She-Hulk can do it in a respectful way, then I'm cool with that.
Agreed.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
Damn it,
go
Fatal
ahead,
J. That's it, Fatal J. You're banned. You're out.
All right, so,
no,
you know how many times you banned me?
I'm just messing with you, man. Cal Wild says you did it again. Cal Wild says Jade Cargill is hot. That's true, and she would have been a hell of a good She-Hulk. I don't know if she can act, but she certainly, if you made her green, she'd look like She-Hulk.
This woman here is going to be spectacular. It's just a CGI.
Have you seen Jade Cargill?
Yes, but this woman here, I'm telling you, she's like Josh said.
She's a fucking superstar, Fatal J. She owns it.
Hold on, man. Let me look this woman up.
Yeah, I'm looking at her now. Yeah, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Spectacular. Just mwah.
Yeah,
I know what he was doing when he fixed that one up, She's got the six-pack. She got the legs for it.
Yeah, but you got to remember, she's like Banner. She's going to be like the human hair is going to be geeky looking. It's not going to start off right.
That's not she.
They should have gone with no. Jade Cargill. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of her. 100%. They should have gone with her in the beginning.
But what you saying? Like she should have been the lawyer too, or she should have been the Hulk?
No, just do it like they did the fucking Hulk TV show with Bixby.
Yes, yeah.
Have her turn into Jade Cargill. Jesus Christ, it's not hard.
Cool.
That, or do like they did with the first Captain America, First Avenger,
where they
have
made
Jade Cargill be the body, do all the physical stuff as She-Hulk, and then
I can see that.
CG the face and.
But see, they messed up when they did completely CGI. That's completely CGI.
It's like what they went with that Green Lantern suit. Like, what were you thinking? At least some of it need to look real.
I'm glad we can both agree on something. That movie sucked.
You like Jade Cargill though now, don't you, Fatal J?
I remember her from WWE. I remember seeing her.
No, you didn't. She's never been in WWE. She's in AEW.
Oh,
she used to be
I know it was one of them.
Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, She-Hulk. We are at the C-tier character stage in the MCU. That could sell books when comics have been hot. Can't get excited. That's really like the D-level characters, right? Like,
yeah,
they're lower than D.
Yeah, when you get to Shang-Chi, you're depending on Shang-Chi. Yeah, you've hit the depths. You've hit the dregs.
They only got Shang-Chi because of the era we in, the diversity era. That's the only reason why we rock it with Shang-Chi. And to me, that movie, it was mediocre.
Exactly. Zero people on the planet actually give any fucks about Shang-Chi. But, however, they did make a halfway decent Iron Fist movie out of it.
Well, these are the Marvel street level heroes. Moon Knight, Shang-Chi.
Yes,
sir. I think they're probably more than likely going to reboot Iron Fist.
Oh, you know what they rebooted? I'm going to tell you what they're rebooting. And this is news. This is real. They're going to reboot Daredevil.
Yeah,
no, they're not rebooting it. They're just continuing it with season 4.
Continuation, Fatal J. Yeah,
I heard they're remaking it.
No, it's just season 4.
It's still Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah. But it's not going to be PG-13, is it?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, I think that remains to be seen.
If it's PG-13, you can hang it up. It's going to be trash. It's going to be trash. Trust me.
The writers from Covert Affairs, a USA show, they're going to write it and produce it.
They're the showrunners, and they've already started bringing back some of the Netflix writers for. They brought them back for Echo, and then they're going to be probably shifting them into this. So,
it might be canceled.
It might be home for MCU then.
Yeah, well, not just bear in mind. There's also the Agatha Harkness show. They're relying upon Agatha Harkness.
Oh man,
as a show.
They're actually relying on that actress who's been in everything and whose name I can't fucking remember.
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah.
I I think that had you not had the response that Catherine Hahn had to WandaVision, you wouldn't have an Agatha Harkness show.
I agree.
But I think she stole every scene she was in, and people loved her, and people will watch because they love her.
She's a good actress, Josh. I admit.
She's hot Agatha Harkness, because like Agatha Harkness is like what? Decrepit. She's like the hot maid of Agatha Harkness.
I was gonna say.
Can we
all right, Wes said we're going too far.
You guys are good. I love the debate and everything.
Well, it goes with the super chat though.
I get you. Raytech7 says, I'm curious to see what the reaction will be from creators, the news media, and Twitter if and when the big two return their characters to the original straight sexuality due to low sales. Well, I think they would be very upset.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think they'll be able to do it, Josh.
They can't.
Yeah, we talked about this back when they first turned Tim Drake gay. Like you're now in a process that you can't undo.
Can I ask a question? Is this Elseworld or is this canon?
It's canon. This is you can't put any of the toothpaste back in the tube on any of these characters ever. Sorry, Iceman is dead. You know, everybody that got Draked is done. Tim, Bobby,
Alan Scott,
John, Scott. They're dead properties. Good job, I guess. You got a couple of months of. You got a week of.
You always have articles. A Solomon story where he puts him to sleep and bangs him for 1,000 years.
Yep. You got a CNN article, 4 pages in a Pride anthology every year, and a dead IP. Good job.
See, we bash what's his name? Bendis. We bash Bendis all the time because of his shitty stories, but we should have known he was trying to warn us when he draked Tim Drake.
Yep. It was a side of things
I've been trying to read. Josh, I've been trying to read issue 1 of Powers for 3 years now.
You probably give that one up.
Yeah. I need to give it up, man.
You know those arms on Natalie Portman are fake and made from rubber. Plus that picture proved it stores lesbians in space. Sexuality swap again.
Shout out to Catwoman because that's fake. That's not real, man. She's not that buff like that.
I didn't put too much thought into it. I just
everybody talk about, she's buff. No, that's not her arms.
It's like a half a second. It's hard to make any real determinations on that.
If Demi,
I'm sure she was
we saw Demi Moore getting shape in G.I. Jane, so I don't know.
Yeah, look at her arms. That's not real. She walking around like this. That's not real, man.
I don't know. Bautista looked pretty real. You know what I mean? He was like this.
Who walks around like this, man?
Bautista can't put his hands in his pockets. Get out of here.
It's fake, man. It's fake.
You think it's fake, Josh? You're in Hollywood.
Yeah, I those are not her arms. She is still tiny. Like she is tiny, and she has a very big head.
She can barely lift an iPod. Jesus Christ.
She can barely lift her head. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's always with her head tilted.
Look,
I can't get it up.
I know I'm an MCU apologist and I stick up for it a lot of time, but Thor is a movie that I'm not looking forward to because it is going to suck balls.
If anyone here, never mind. I was gonna make a joke
about anyone here knowing about sucking balls.
Yes, God damn it! Thank you.
To my YouTubers out there, the official trailer is dropping Monday at 9:00 a.m. If you wanted to know that.
Very nice. We got Dylan Lindsay. They have to do it with pre-established characters. They don't have the ability to create new heroes that people like, so they have to steal from others. Very true. It's very much what they're having to do nowadays as far as everything that's happening. Kind of have to dip in the well of other people's creations because they haven't made a great character in a very long time. What's the last big-time Marvel character they created? Miles, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only reason, if Miles were to come out today, he'd be as soundly rejected as every other, palette swapped photocopy.
because everyone copied it.
Yes, I understand that, but that's why he would never even get a chance because we're tired of the palette swapped photocopies.
Yeah.
And
Nerdy
he's
Girl
also
creates.
bisexual, right? I'm sorry.
No.
Nerdy girl.
Carrie says, Kenneth, you and I are like on the same cadence.
I'm sorry. But Miles is also bisexual, right?
Not yet.
I don't believe so.
They got him too.
I
read a story where he was. Because I know he had a thing with Spider-Gwen, but I thought I read somewhere where he was also bisexual.
I don't know. I don't believe so. To my knowledge, he isn't. They haven't done that one yet. Wait, Dirty Girl Crate says Bridget Nielsen was cast as She-Hulk once, but they never moved forward with it.
Thank God.
Back in the day.
Thank God. Have y'all ever seen what's that old movie where she was Conan?
Red Sonja. No, she was hot. She was smoking. Red Sonja.
Yeah, but that movie sucked.
Nah,
y'all like Red Sonja.
She was good. Not the movie.
Y'all mean to tell me in this world that I'm living in, y'all dislike the Snyder Cut and like Red Sonja the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
I said the actress was good. I wasn't talking.
I like Rocky. What is it? Rocky 4, where she's the Drago's wife.
Yeah.
She didn't even talk in that movie.
She was in Cobra. That was another good movie. Bridget Nielsen was
Cobra
a powerhouse.
was dope. I like Cobra.
Hey, Wes, mark the time. We made it 1 hour 6 minutes before Snyder was brought up.
Well, I didn't bring it up either. It was Fatal J.
Yeah.
You said you weren't going to say that name.
Nope. Nobody has said Snyder until you did, Jay.
No, but they both alluded to it.
Doesn't matter.
You said we had to say the word. I just said a synonym. Shit.
Yeah.
I just said.
Hello, Dreckle says that Bridget Nielsen's a handsome woman. That's the way to describe it.
Look, once you see Bridget Nielsen making out with Flavor Flav, you can't really unsee that. And that's all I think about.
You can't.
Flavor Flav.
That was so strange. That era we was living in.
Cal Lyle says Jade. Fatal J. Cal Lyle says Jade Cargill loves Storm and that rabbit girl from My Hero Academia. Well, she certainly likes Jade from Mortal Kombat. I remember watching the show where she was dressed up as her and had the green hair.
Oh.
So I do like. She definitely likes to cosplay.
Oh.
Fatal J apparently is typing. Well, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You want to see it, don't you? So yeah, she could definitely play some characters. We got comment sets. There's going to be a Nova movie. Which you prefer, Richard Rider or Sam Alexander? If you pick Rider, would it return to 17-year-old roots as a street hero?
It needs. Go ahead. No, Josh, you need to go.
I was just gonna say, from what I'm hearing, it is Richard Rider, and it's gonna pick up with Thanos from Infinity War getting the stones, and then go from there. But I fully suspect they'll move into Sam Alexander really quickly.
Guardians of the Galaxy been hitting at Nova for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, Feige said this like 2 years ago that Nova was in the works. So
yeah,
they just need to make a movie and have a guy named Dick Ryder on the big screen. So
good headline. Dill Lindsay says they specifically used bi because they wanted an out. We are the ones saying gay. If people are upset that a bi character go back to dating a woman, then they are being bigoted towards bisexuals.
I knew it was coming. Dun, dun, dun.
That seems to be their safe word, Josh. We don't say he's gay. He's bisexual. He just doesn't date women.
Yeah, and I think even in Tim Drake's case, they haven't actually said bi. They've just said he's interested in men and had him start dating whoever this, So I there's so many things going on behind the scenes with people that want to push this and people that don't want to push this and people that are being cautious because they're trying to look towards the future, and then people that are like, what are you talking about? Because they're stupid. But it's their safe
Definitely
word.
the preferred word right now, Josh.
Yeah.
You guys are being wiped out. You're going to have to come out as bisexual soon.
I know. I'm just, poontang pie.
You smell what the Rock is cooking.
My goodness. We got HH from Sigma Comics. Greetings to Wes and the panel from MegaCon Orlando. Also at MegaCon. So if you're down there, you want to check out Comics Elite, definitely check out the guys from Sigma Comics. With Mike Barron's guidance for issue 5, Here Comes Calico is hitting like a sledgehammer on Kickstarter. The Jiggler's on the loose. Pre-orders today.
Sigma, my friend down there, drunk 3PO, he's down there. Tell him if you see him, Fatal J says you owe him $100. Give me my $100 back. I'm not playing.
Just like that.
You better get him his money, and then you need to beat the shit out of him.
Bitch better have my money.
Bitch, have my money.
The
congratulations to
hold up
Rihanna
a
for
whole
her
drunk 3PO like an accordion. You know what I mean? What were you saying, Kenneth? I'm sorry.
I said congratulations to Rihanna for having her child with A$AP Rocky.
Oh. That was so random, but congratulations.
It was very
Bitch better have my money. That was the song.
Bitch better have my money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Fiddle J. Yes.
I was thinking Old Dirty Bastard, but okay.
That too. But yeah, it's a remix.
So we're just under 100 likes so far. I want to say thank you very much. We've been right at around 300, a little bit over that, almost
Hold
the
on,
entire
we need to
time.
get those likes up. We
better smash that like button.
Get them
Hit it
likes
like it's
up.
going out of style. Oh, I was going to make a Chris Brown joke, but I guess that would be inappropriate. But definitely,
We're saying if he get to 100 likes, he's going to get up and do the Tootsie Roll in front of everybody.
never said that. And it's highly unlikely that would occur. To be honest, but we do have a lot of Marvel Comics news. Obviously, we talked a lot about Batman. We've got Amazing Fantasy Fake Milestone 1000. I hate fake milestones more than a lot of things. And we've also got a lot of creators that got nothing to do with Spider-Man on this damn comic book. Kenneth, there's no Roy Thomas. We've got no James DeMatteis. We got no
Roger Stern.
Roger Stern. We got nobody. Tom DeFalco. All these great Spider-Man creators aren't there, but we got Hoche Anderson, we got Rainbow Rowell, we got Jonathan Hickman. What the fuck, man?
When I heard no Roger Stern, I want nothing to do with it. Roger Stern, to me, is the definitive Spider-Man writer. Just to me. So, no.
David Michelini.
David Michelini too, yeah. Michelini makes some good stuff. His Iron Man he's the best Iron Man writer in my opinion.
J.M. DeMatteis.
DeMatteis, yep.
Hell, Jerry Conway. He's not even involved.
Jerry Conway.
In fairness, I always like seeing Jerry Conway not get work, so that's fine. No, look, this is actually more insulting to anyone with even the basic arithmetic skills than Marvel Comics 1000 was, because we've only had 30 issues of Amazing Fantasy, and they're going issue 1 through 15, 1 through 16, and then 1000. So this is even more insulting than Marvel Comics 1000, because that they at least had, I don't know, about 100 issues, maybe.
This just opens the floodgate for any other character's obscure title to tie it in with something else, and to tie it in with something else. Boom! Hey, we're at 1,000. Look at that.
The thing is, the math on this, it doesn't make any. There's no math that they can do on this in order to make it 1,000 issues. At least with some of the other ones, they've made attempts to. They're oh yeah, this is Thor number 800. How? Well, we did this plus this and this, and okay, now we're at 800. Okay, sure, I guess. Same with Fantastic Four at 700 or something like that, wherever the fuck they were. But there's no math that they could do on this. You got almost 900 issues of Spider-Man, plus at least 220 issues of Spectacular Spider-Man, plus another 150 issues of adjectiveless Spider-Man. That's excluding Web of. So you'd have to be looking at Spider-Man 1500 if they wanted to figure out ways to make this math work. This is literally DC 1 million shit. Or remember a few years ago, whenever they did Wolverine number 900 and then Deadpool number 900 for no apparent reason.
Yeah, and and of course I've made comparisons with Spider-Man and Batman. A couple of years ago, we had Detective Comics 1000, but at least Detective Comics had the Batman creators on it that wrote on it. So,
and it was at least a 1,000th issue.
Yeah,
It was Detective 1000.
It's just like, it's mind blowing. Why didn't they just do 60th anniversary? Like, you just pull together. DC did it with 80th anniversaries. Why not just do it?
Yeah, I mean, Flash and Wonder Woman got 750s issues.
Yeah.
Those two extra zeros, that's why. Oh my God, there's been that many? Whoa. No.
But I mean, if they wanted to, they could have tried some sort of creative numbering to get to, because they've only done 2 Amazing Fantasy series, and neither of them lasted for more than 20 issues. I don't understand. They're not even attempting to figure out why this is issue 1000. Apparently, except for 60 years equals 1,000 issues now. But for DC, 80 years equals 1,000 issues. I don't get it.
Hey Doc, but we're gonna get a half-assed J. Scott Campbell cover of Spider-Man posing for the
man. I saw that cover. That was mediocre.
Yeah, Jeff, dude, come on, you got to. I get it. You're keeping your good shit for your store, but man,
that was weak.
But most of these creators do that, Doc. I think Yule said that before. If you're like creator and you have your create your own stuff, you're gonna keep most of your things for your own stuff instead of giving it all to DC or Marvel, because you're not gonna get no credit if you work for them.
But Kenneth, if that cover, bro, you could do better than that.
Oh, you know I agree with you both. But I'm just saying, if you're creating, you have your create your own stuff. That's what your energy is gonna go to.
Yeah, because I was reading that article and they said J. Scott is going to do a new cover. And I was like, okay, let me check it out. I know it's going to be impressive. And I was like, okay, what the freak is this bullshit?
It was some really,
just a basic, mediocre pose with a basic background. It'll probably still sell out. Y'all think it'll sell out, though?
Well, it's going to be a high ratio variant, so yes.
It'll make money, yeah.
The J. Scott Campbell completists will pay the inflated price for it. However, he's going to keep his real book for like his real covers for his store. Website. Yeah, for his website store.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. Like, he'll keep the good dynamic covers for whatever. He'll do like 7 or 8 of them. He'll probably do one for every era of Spider-Man with basically he drew a layout and it'll be, digitally inked and colored to look different.
J. Scott need to stop bullshit. Yeah. he need to quit. He need to quit, man, and just give us a dope Danger Girl book or something, man.
I bet he makes more money off covers.
He makes.
I know.
Do you have any idea how much money he makes on his, like the J. Scott Campbell store exclusive variants for books?
Probably in the millions.
He makes it's. You're looking at profit. I don't know what his profit margin on it is, but he's looking at about $250,000 every time he does one.
But Doc, if he's just doing covers, if he's just doing covers, his profit margin has to be high. Because he's not doing the
he has to pay for the books too, though.
He has to pay for the books.
Oh, okay.
And he pays Marvel. Okay, Larry from Larry's Comics, he's commissioned exclusive covers for his store. In Larry's case, he has to commission both the artist and he has to commission it from Marvel. So he pays Marvel a fee for all the books and for the right to do a cover, and he pays an artist. Now, Jeff, in his case, he is the artist, so he doesn't have to pay the artist, but he still has to pay Marvel for the right.
There's minimum orders. You have to buy thousands upon thousands.
People have no idea how much shipping costs. The shipping fees are the silent killer.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly.
Trust me, I know. And oh man, it's a headache.
So he's probably got a decent profit margin on them. I mean, considering he sells like variant sets, where he'll do like 5 or 6 or 7, in some cases, not like 10 variants for one issue, that he'll sell as a set for, a high dollar amount. But he's still, I mean, he's bringing in probably about $250,000 in revenue every time he does one of these. So why in the hell would he ever go back to doing interiors?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm still waiting for that JMS or that Jeff Loeb. I don't remember if it was Jeff Loeb or JMS, J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man miniseries that I was promised in like 2004. Where is it?
You'll be waiting a while on that one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kenneth? Like, are you excited for Amazing Fantasy 1000? What are you hoping to see out of this? I'm a little disappointed that Dan Slott is the only Spider-Man writer, but it could still be fun.
God. Man. Like I said, if it doesn't have any of the traditional Spider-Man creators, like I made a point before, a couple years back, they did Detective 1000, and they actually had all of the creators of Batman on it. Mm-hmm. So, but they only have Dan Slott? No Roger.
He's also got the end of the Spider-Verse coming out too.
No Jerry Conway on that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You said end of the Snyder.
They're going to end the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, they're ending that good.
Kind of strange that they got the big movie coming out. It's probably going to make $1 billion.
That movie is going to be incredible. I can't wait for that to come out. The part 2. Now tell me, you guys like that?
It was okay.
I like the first.
Great.
The first
was freaking amazing, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But the first Spider-Verse movie, at least they treated Miles Morales like a decent character. He has his own story. They had something interesting to do with him. Why the comics aren't doing that? I
like the movie. There's just sometimes when the animation gets like too flashy, and it almost gave me a seizure. But other than that, it was pretty damn good.
I ain't supposed to laugh, but that was funny though.
I'm just looking forward to this last Spider-Verse so that hopefully Dan Slott kills the Spider-Verse. And makes it go away forever, because the last thing Marvel needs is a fucking Spider-Verse. It needs to go away, and it needs to be gone permanently.
And replaced by the Gwenverse.
No. All of the verses. Fuck the verses.
Yes.
I will throw all of the verses into the sun. I don't know how I do that, but whatever.
If it's just Peter and Miles left after it and no one else, that'd be good. Miles can just stay in Brooklyn. Like Daredevil has Hell's Kitchen, and Peter has everything else, Manhattan, all that, then I'm cool with that.
I will take Peter.
That punk rock Spider-Man got to go.
Peter and Jessica. Peter and Jessica are the only two acceptable ones. I will allow for Peter and Julia Carpenter if Jessica is dead. That's it.
What about Mayday? Mayday's a great character, Doc.
Future children don't count. They're not in the same universe.
Doc,
as long as she's not in her own in running around while Peter's an active Spider-Man, I don't give a fuck.
No.
Doc, you don't have love for Pig Spider?
Fuck all the spiders.
Peter Pork is actually pretty dope. I like that character.
I love bacon.
Hey, I'm fine with, you could stick the fucking Hostess Fruit Pie Spider-Man over in his own universe too. I don't want him in ours. That's my point.
Drew, you know what I think is weird is the Dan Slott story. They say it's going to be about Peter and MJ's undying love in the future. I don't ever remember Dan Slott highlighting Peter and MJ in his series, really.
No, neither do I. And after what Zeb Wells did with issue 1, I'm like, what fucking love? There is no love there. I don't understand what is going on here. What the hell are we doing here with Peter and Mary Jane? No one knows at Marvel what the hell is going on with them. Here we go, Peter. He's another step from being bi at this point. Let's see what happens.
What's that cover where he was wearing that shirt about I'm a woman's slave or something?
No, it has to be in this agenda. He was wearing Mockingbird's shirt. That one
Ask
fire.
Me about my feminist agenda.
Yeah.
She had him sleeping on the couch because he lost his job and everything. He was a loser.
Yeah, he was a complete cuckold sleeping on her couch. Yeah.
The only thing I like about Dan Slott's run was the Spider-Man Spider Island storyline, because that's when Shang-Chi taught Peter Parker martial arts because he lost his spider sense and he wasn't an effective combatant against the other villains. So that was cool.
You didn't like the Red Goblin? I thought he ended that run in style. I thought it was pretty good.
I like the Red Goblin. That was a good one.
Those books sold like hotcakes. The Alex Ross covers for those, they were fire. I'll say that.
I'll revisit those. I'll revisit that.
It was probably the best thing he ever did. Although I know a lot of people like the Superior Spider-Man stuff where
it was fun.
Obviously,
yeah.
Doc
I
Ock
love
took
Superior.
over.
I'm reading that now.
Yeah,
That
when he
art is
knocked
great.
Scorpion's jaw clean off, blood everywhere. Yeah, that was cool.
You learned that Peter Parker's been holding back this whole time and he could have murdered everybody.
Yeah. Stegman on the art. Ryan Stegman on the art. He was terrific.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. What do you think, Josh? I know you're more of a DC guy, but you do dabble in the Marvels. Do you think Amazing Fantasy 1000 is really celebrating and a good tribute, at least what we know now, to the Spider-Man?
Sure, it could be done. I talked about this before I stepped away, but I think it can be done better. I think the way they're going about it is wrong because once again, they're going about it in a certain way that's just creating negative commentary. So,
Hey, we got a celeb up in here. What up, Clownfish TV?
Yeah, we got Neon from Cloudfish. Love Neon. We've had him on the channel a couple times. He's a really good guy.
Well, next time invite me when he's on the show, sir.
I would never disrespect Clownfish like that. Yeah, thanks for showing up on the channel, Neon. I brought this moron.
That'll just spend the entire time interrupting and talking over you.
Hey, that's Kenneth's job, right?
Clownfish, ignore him, please. He's just a Snyder Cut hater,
Oh, man.
a Snyderverse hater. He's an ignorant guy. He doesn't know any better. But please, thank you for coming to the show. And make
Neon
sure
loves
smash that
Superman.
like-
Do you think he likes the Snyderverse?
Yes.
No, he doesn't because he likes Superman.
I've seen his videos. He likes the Snyderverse.
I think he supports what people were doing, but he knows deep down in his heart that anything that Snyder did for DC sucks. It's just,
And I said I wasn't going to bring up Snyder, so let me stay quiet.
you took it up. You brought it first.
I know. That's what I said. I'm not going to bring it up, so I'm going to stay quiet.
We do got some. We do have some. Like I was back from Missouri again. We do have some super chats here. We got Wade Tech 10. Been a DC fan for nearly 40 years, and now they couldn't pay me to read anything they're doing. That's a feat. I guess I'm an istaphobe. That is a feat, Josh, but I feel like a lot of people are just going, you know what? I will step away, and when you deliver something that intrigues me, maybe I'll come back.
yeah, my thing is I know we talked about how I'm like the Batman guy, but there's someone that I view as by far being a Batman guy above me, and it's one of the guys that I used to write with named Brandon. And Brandon not only had read everything Batman, but he had it was an encyclopedia studying Batman. And even he was like, I'm done. So to me, that's your sign. Whenever Brandon Mulholland says I'm done with Batman, I'm done with DC, it's telling.
That's it's sad when you see these things, but I completely understand where people come to these conclusions. Like I don't blame you.
Yeah,
There's no reason to waste your money and time on this stuff. So.
Yeah, I've said on some of our videos, like you'll give me a hard time for not knowing stuff. I'm like, dude, I can't even bring myself to care right now. Just I'm not looking for information. Just let it happen so I can move on.
Mr. DC Comics says we need a comic book Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Do you want like a real Hall of Fame or like WWE Hall of Fame where you have the
everybody
you have speeches, but then nothing happens. There's no actual place to visit.
And the Brooklyn Brawler gets in.
Hey, listen, the Brooklyn Brawler did a lot of. Remember his big feud where he had with gosh dang it, who was the guy that did the Ghetto Blaster where he'd kick you in the back of the head? No one remembers he had the thing of rats, or he had. I can't remember his name anymore. The Ghetto Blaster.
Was it the Repo Man?
No, he was the black dude. He was from Canada. I can't remember his name anymore.
I just remember him fighting with that guy with the
Elite.
fake hockey skates. The Goon.
The Goon, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
character.
I just remember him fighting with the Goon.
remember the Brooklyn Brawl and
Was it
Oh, was it Bad News
Brown?
Brown? Yeah.
Bad News Brown. Absolutely.
I was
That guy
right about to
great.
say that too. Bad News Brown.
That's the only feud of his he ever had. Although I did see Barry Horowitz get a win once. They act like it was WrestleMania, but I'll take Barry Horowitz and the Brooklyn Brawler, I guess, in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like I said, there's nothing actually physical, so just make a speech and celebrate their careers. But I wouldn't mind a comic book Hall of Fame. Where would we put it, Doc? Where do you think the comic book Hall of Fame should be? It's got to be New York, right?
Honestly, it's likely to end up in Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Well, it's where Siegel and Schuster were from. It's the whole the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, no, I mean there's
oddly from Cleveland either. So
oddly enough, there's a lot of connections to Cleveland as much as I hate it being a Pittsburgh guy. There is a lot of connections to comic history out of Cleveland. Plus, you already have Ohio State that's not that far away with their museum down there.
They do have a museum. It's true.
We don't need a comic book Hall of Fame.
What about San Diego, where they have Comic-Con?
We don't need one.
Sense.
You know why? Because whoever made Safe Space and those type of people, they're going to get awards too. You do know that.
Yeah, that's why
we don't need a comic book Hall of Fame.
Because when Daniel
deny Kibble Smith,
when Daniel Kibble Smith ends up in the Hall of Fame, you will all regret it.
Oh, there you go. Bill Lindsay says, did they do 1,000th issue of Nightwing? Or didn't they do 1,000th issue of Nightwing? No, they didn't. I think they did Deadpool 1,000, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't do 1,000th issue of Nightwing. They did do a Dick Grayson 80th anniversary special.
Oh, you know where we can put it?
Robin.
Let's put it in Portland. I'm sorry. That's where we put the grave for the comic book industry.
Ooh, you put the Eisners. You put it in Portland where it belongs. Everybody already lives there.
We just put up a grave right next to Lenin's grave.
How about we have a cage match?
Happy Steve says, at the end of Death Metal, we were told that Earth Prime was no longer the center of the multiverse. They said there was another Earth. I vote that Earth being pre-Bendis DC. Current DC sucks. Is Bendis a perfect starting point for the fall of the DC Comics universe, Josh?
It's not a bad start. I'll put it that way.
It's a marker.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to say where did the start begin, I would honestly say New 52, because that's when they started their own characterization out the window, and there were really good stories in the New 52. There's a lot of stuff I liked about the New 52, but that was the beginning of just characterization being abandoned, in my opinion.
So they need a P52 universe that's the pre-New 52 good characters.
Yeah. I've said this before. If they want to move on, publishers are going to have 2 to 3 different universes going back to 2 or 3 different eras, because you've messed up too much.
Josh, I will say this. The good thing about New 52, they got Batman and Superman out of those drawers, and they actually gave them pants. That's one of the good things about it.
You don't like Superman's uniform?
I never liked the draws. You like the draws?
Yes.
I like Superman.
Doc, you like the draws too?
Trunks on the outside.
No, those are not trunks. Those are tidy whities.
They're not white. They're
So
red.
Fatal J, you don't like this book, right? Because they have drawers.
That's not trunks. That's panties.
No, they have drawers in this. This is old school. Have you been reading this? They have drawers.
He doesn't read good comics. You're the guy that forced that change, huh, Fatal J? You're the guy on Twitter be like, you got to get those panties off of Superman, while everyone else is going, what?
I want to ask the chat, and the chat, I know you're going to go against me.
Yeah, because
Batman
you're saying
and Superman wearing underwear. You guys always like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks good.
He
He doesn't even need the belt. I know they have the belt on him now. He doesn't need that. It looks good without it.
The belt helps.
The belt doesn't make any sense when he's wearing a jumpsuit.
That's unnecessary.
Okay, common sense said, I agree with Fatal J. Better without the draws. They're wearing draws. They need to wear pants, man. If I was a villain and I saw somebody wearing draws, How can I take that seriously?
If
Good
they're
luck
running
not
not
taking
gonna get
Superman
you like
seriously
that?
and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Good luck with it.
Well, I'm gonna have a good time. Him beating me down. It's gonna be hilarious.
I mean, I don't need Robin when he was wearing Daisy Dukes or anything like that. I prefer the leggings, but
Oh, that was even worse. That was even worse. So okay, Pedro is with you. He said keep the trunks. That's what I'm saying. Fruit of Looms. That they wearing Fruit of Looms. Fruit of the Looms.
So Fatal J, you want boxers, right? They're wearing boxers.
No, I don't want boxers. Give them pants, man. And don't give them drawers on top of pants. Take away the drawers. I've never
what did you like
about
that one dude in what was it, Arrested Development? He's like a never nude. He's just always got the jean shorts on over everything.
Yeah, that's strange, man.
Let's put jean shorts on Superman.
Look, we're all used to Jay just being wrong. So
Look,
let's just
thank
move
you,
on
New
from
52.
Jay being wrong.
Thank you, Jim Lee, for changing the design of Superman and Batman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much, Jim Lee. Jim Lee gets it. Jim Lee gets it, okay? That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Lade Craver says a question. So last time I read Batman and Catwoman, they were still together, but in separation. I know Ramvid showed them together. Are they broke up?
Who cares anymore? I honestly couldn't care.
I think they must be. Because I think she's in a romance in her book, right?
Yeah, I think she's banging another chick in her series.
Yeah.
Right now.
Pretty sure she's scissoring this crime lady.
Yeah.
There you go.
Batman
Who cares?
Hey,
I think Tom King pretty much ruined that idea. We got Dill Lindsay. Maybe I was thinking of Nightwing 1 million from 96.
I think you're thinking of Nightwing 1 million, where everything was issue 1 million for arbitrary reasons. And this Amazing Fantasy seems just as equally arbitrary.
Yeah, they just wish they had 1,000 issues of it.
1 through 15, 1 through like 17, 1,000. Sure, that math makes sense. All right. Why the fuck not?
Here's my thing, though. It's like, Jay, you realize they're not wearing underoos like you, though, right?
Yeah, you still think about it.
I don't get it. He's just wearing trunks.
No,
with
he's
the
wearing.
uniform.
Look, man, we are men. It's a difference between drawers and boxers. They're wearing drawers, man. They're wearing drawers.
Are you trying to disparage anyone on that views the channel that wears Hanes like Michael Jordan style underwear?
I have nothing against you wearing drawers in your personal life.
Ado's got a point. This is what she had to say about you. Shippers ruin everything. Yes, shippers like Fatal J ruin everything.
All I'm saying is, if you're trying
so
to
do cosplayers.
If you're trying to be intimidating and trying to have villains afraid of you, then why will Batman be wearing drawers to fight
He's
villains?
in the shadows. You can't even see him.
Exactly.
He's got the cape that's covering him, Fatal J, so you don't see it. So he wants to. And Fatal J
would like him to be wearing granny panties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You remember when we was kids and our moms, when we was little kids, we used to have our drawers, like the Ninja Turtle drawers and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, underoos. That's what you wear still, right?
Why the freak will grown men out in public wearing underoos?
Because their fucking underoos don't have the Ninja Turtles on them.
Exactly.
So it makes it better that they're like just red all the way through and black all the way through.
It's like wearing a jockstrap when you're playing sports. It's hard to explain to people unless you played sports. If you're a hero, you wear
drawers,
trunks.
man. I have never been in a place where people love drawers in public.
You watch WWE. What are you talking about? What do you think those guys are all wearing? Banana hammocks.
That's different because they're wrestlers. Josh, I'm gonna spit up his water.
Whatever. All right, we got other stuff. We got Marvel Comics decided to license out Stan Lee's likeness this week. I know a lot of people made a big deal about this. I didn't really talk about it myself. It seems strange, Kenneth, that they would license Stan Lee's likeness. I guess so they could digitally put him in movies and stuff. What did you think about this? Should they just let the guy, be done with his legacy, or should they keep licensing him out?
Because when Captain Marvel came out, they changed the whole opening to everything with Stan Lee, and that was supposed to be the end of that. It was supposed to be a send-off. So it's almost like a desperate attempt to keep cashing and making money, possibly because their product is suffering. Like, just briefly about how we've been talking about these Disney Plus MCU shows, they're failing the audience. I mean, maybe out of Moon Knight, but like what is the budget on these shows? They're like, what, 10, 15 million an episode? And they haven't gotten positive receptions. You're talking possibly hundreds of millions of dollars they're wasting on these shows. And the only MCU movie that has really been a success is Spider-Man No Way Home. But other than that, and yeah, Doctor Strange has made money, but the second weekend, that drop-off was tragic. So this is not going to last too long. So they're trying to do anything they can to stay relevant. And yeah, just let them be. Let them rest in peace.
Ken, if I want to ask you a question. Black Panther, they said it's disrespectful to recast T'Challa. But
I disagree with I'm sorry. I
disagree too, but this is what I'm saying.
Right.
They said it was disrespectful not to recast T'Challa, but this is not disrespectful with having Stan Lee likeness in these future MCU movies. That's not disrespectful. That's all I'm saying. It's hypocritical. You know what I mean?
I think it depends. But what I will say, I'm just going to throw in a different perspective here. I think you will continue to see cameos of Stan Lee in like movies and TV shows, but I think what they're more hoping to use this for is we already know they're opening theme parks, or they're opening Avengers World and whatever and theme parks, and they're wanting to expand on that. And they're wanting to do more stuff with that. I think their goal is to get back to having Stan Lee as that like voice that's there, kind of advertising everything.
Like the Tupac hologram concerts that they're doing, except it's Stan Lee at the theme park, right?
Yeah, but like if you've been to Universal Studios and you go on like the Universal Studios tour ride, you got Jimmy Fallon there talking. I think they're going to have Stan Lee doing something like that. And I think there's a nostalgic thing to this. And I think there's it just takes you back to quote unquote better days, better times for many of us. Like you hear if I hear Stan Lee's voice, I feel better. And it might sound cheesy, but I do. And I think that's what they're going for.
Okay. Josh, they're going to take it further.
I don't know. And this may be something Stan Lee wanted. Like the reason the cameos happened to begin with was Stan Lee wanted to do them. Like they weren't going to him.
He was attention.
Yeah, he was going to them saying like, hey, I love that we're making this film. I want to be a part of it in some way. And he was the one that pushed for that. So this may be something he desired. And all the power to you.
Josh, they're going to get disrespectful with it and have him in these future movies as well. You do know that, right?
I think it depends. We'll see.
It's coming. You know it's coming.
But Once they
sign that dotted line and say Stan Lee is going to, they can have the right to do whatever, he's going to be popping up in the future with hey. He's going to do the cameos in the movies. I think that's disrespectful to the family.
Well, we don't know that yet, Fatal J. We don't know that now. Josh, your point, I agree 100% with. In that retrospective, I'm cool with. Now, Fatal J, the thing you brought up, they're not exactly the same thing. Because I think with Josh's point, with Stan Lee, it's more a promotional thing all around. It's with the movies, but if it's like doing it as a voice, or if you're going to a theme park and doing it, if Stan Lee signed off on that, then yeah, I'm cool with. But with the Chadwick Boseman thing, that's different because he was playing an active character in the Marvel universe. That thing, I definitely think they should have recasted T'Challa with another actor. I understand their decision at the time, at the moment, but it's like with that Spider-Man No Way Home, we had 3 different Spider-Man. How many Batmans have we have? So I definitely think they should recast T'Challa just on that front. But with the Stan Lee thing, like with Josh's great point he raised up, I'm cool with. So
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think they should recast T'Challa as well.
Right,
but I'm just saying, is it right to have a hologram or a CGI Stan Lee in future stuff that's coming up?
Well, they pay for his likeness rights. His family's getting paid for that stuff. They can do what they want. AL brings up a good point. I think one of the reasons that people are upset about this, or it gives them an uneasy feeling, is the way that Stanley was treated in his later life, and he was kind of abused.
Right.
You know, supposedly he was cited stuff in blood, and he was kind of being drug around places, and you know, he was in no condition to be doing a lot of things that he was doing, and it felt like he was being somewhat abused in his later ages. So I think people don't, that kind of like gets people.
Right.
Anybody else have anything to say about this one? All right, we got a couple of super chats here. Happy Steve, the underwear is a distraction, Fatal J. Those first moments of this guy serious, confusion gives the heroes time to win. Pro underwear all the way here. He's talking to his wife.
I am talking to my wife. My wife, she came over and knocked my lights down, man. She fixing my stuff right now.
You better watch that how you talk about your wife. She's about to knock you down.
Exactly.
I just want to see a hand come across there like, wow.
These first moments of the guy, seriously.
3 fingers say to the face. Slap.
What did you say? See if I make a burrito for you again. Pop.
Yeah, exactly.
The underwear is a distraction. Yes, it is a distraction. These first moments of this guy is serious confusion. It's he's saying distraction against what I think.
Yeah, the villain's like, this guy's wearing tidy whities on the outside.
And
it's like, ow, you done
Okay, if I saw
it.
Batman coming up towards me and I'm gonna be like the Joker.
And then he's gonna
then
batarang
you're
you in
gonna
the
eat
face.
A batarang.
Fatal J, you're not going to see him though. You don't see Batman coming.
Then
He's
you're gonna be
amazing.
hanging upside down while the police come to get you.
But I'm going to be embarrassed. I got beat up by a guy wearing underwear outside of his pants.
You don't wear underwear,
On top of that, he's wearing tights under the underwear.
Oh my!
It's called tactical gear.
No,
dumbass.
it's called tights. Okay.
Man in tights. Yes.
What do you think he's gonna be wearing cargo pants so they can get stuck on the
No,
buildings
you
and
can wear.
stuff as he's scaling Gotham? Get out of here.
All I'm saying is Jim Lee did the right thing and got rid of the underwear. That's
You're
all
wrong.
I'm saying.
No, he didn't.
And I'm saying you're wrong, and everyone else is saying you're wrong. And guess what? You're wrong.
Yeah. Your wife
Jim-
like destroyed your lights just to let you know that you were wrong.
Just to shut you up.
So you
You're
guys
right.
honestly can tell me if
Yes.
you have pants. Listen, if you have pants Batman that they have now, or underwear Batman, you would choose underwear Batman.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a better look.
We should.
It
move
looks better.
Wolverine has those same trunks on. What are you talking about?
You
like
should
Wolverine?
never be mad when Safe Space and the internet power guy takes over comic books. You should never be mad because that's the same thing.
No,
You,
it's
sir,
not.
are what do they call that? Are you gaslighting me? What are you doing?
He's internet gaslighting you.
Yes. You're not even talking about the same thing.
Thank you, Alec. Alex in the chat said Fatal J is right. Sorry. Yes. The underwear has to go.
Jeez.
Okay, this is what I tell y'all to do for the next experiment. What y'all need to do after this stream, put some pants on, put some underwear on top of it, and go outside and see what people think of you.
When I'm
don't
6'4",
have
250, I'll try it, Fatal J.
Yeah.
Until then, I think I'll just let Batman take care of it and Superman because they can pull off the look.
Look at Jerry Orr saying it looked fine on Christopher Reeve.
It's no different than you asking us to do it is no different than 90% of the women out there that wear tights as pants. It doesn't look good and they shouldn't be doing it.
Well,
I mean, I'll wear yoga pants if I have to.
But there are like 12 women on the planet that it looks good on, and they can do it. Same way that there's about 50 superheroes.
Different.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking different than the 50 superheroes that can pull it off, too.
No underwear. That's all I'm asking. No
Okay, no women in
It's not
tights.
underwear if it's on the outside. It's tactical
outerwear.
gear. There's a difference. All right.
And
Bill
they make
Lindsay
it worse
says,
by putting a freaking utility belt on top of the underwear. A utility belt.
tell me you hate Batman without saying I hate Batman. That's
No,
all
I
I'm saying.
love Batman. I just never liked the underwear. With Superman too. Wes, I used to have a poster back in the day when we first met.
You
and
had a
they
poster?
Batman.
Well,
they
you
had
must love Batman then.
No, I had Batman and Superman on the poster, and you talked about me. You said you got the two guys in the underwear behind you. I remember that. It's. I'm telling you, it's in the archive. And Thinking Critical Archive, it was a video with me and you. And you said you're making jokes and you got two guys in the underwear behind you.
I'm
So
sure at the time it had impact, but it's not supporting what I'm saying now. Dill Lindsay says, why didn't the MCU ever pay respect to Jack Kirby? Every cameo Stan was in, there should have been a picture of Jack or something in reference of him. Have they ever paid respect to Jack Kirby?
That was the real person that started Marvel. Why not? I agree.
I would say no, they haven't really, but at the same time, I don't think Jack's estate was terribly interested.
Yeah.
They were more interested in financial remuneration for it than for crass promotional. I mean, it's not like Jack was alive to go on screen. Like it was fun for Stan because he got to experience it because he was still alive.
Yeah,
Jack wasn't alive, and honestly, if Jack was alive, he'd be like, "Shut up and let me draw. Just keep giving me pages, keep feeding me blank paper, and writing me checks. That's all I give a shit about."
When they remove the helmet from Galactus, he should look like Jack Kirby. How's that?
Yes.
Okay, can I say one thing and then I'm gonna leave this topic alone?
All right, Dabbler, get in here.
If this is about fucking underwear on the outside,
it's definitely about underwear.
Oh Jesus Christ! No, you're done.
No, look.
Nope. You're done. We're done with this conversation.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. Well, we got Dan Shada 24 or Don Shada. Sorry about that. Best comic live stream. Get rid of all the other spiders, including Miles. There's only Peter. Well, this is the best live stream. I appreciate that. We've had a little bit of a debacle here, but these things do happen when you've got Fatal J on the channel. What do you think? Should there only be Peter Parker and Spider-Man Fatal J?
No.
What about his trunks? Do you like his outfit?
Spider-Man never wore trunks, and that's why he's one of the best characters out there. This all I was saying. Trunks.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Instead of draws, it's a little bit better, but not.
Oh my fucking god, dude!
Are we talking about trunks or draws?
No, we're not talking about any of them anymore.
You really weren't. No.
What do you think, Drew? Should they get rid of all the other Spider-Man? Those are probably some of the other characters that sell for Marvel.
Yes. Moving on.
Clam diggers, huh? I don't know about that.
All of them.
Sorry, Don Shot. It's been a calamity here.
Clam diggers.
Clam diggers. I want to see Superman and some clam diggers. That'd be a good idea. I remember those were cool. Maybe you could tight roll his outfit. You know what I mean? You remember tight rolling, Kenneth. Don't act like you're a young man. You're old like me. You don't remember tight rolling your jeans?
You mean pegging?
Pegging is something completely different. That's like on
yeah, well, you peg the fucking ankle.
Yeah, it's tight roll.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. No, honestly, I was looking at something at the chat about something. I was distracted, but no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's because the chat is killing me right now.
Yeah. If I could bring them all on here just to let you know, in person, I'd do it. But
you know what, Wes, you should have a show like that where you just put guests in every minute, just to
it's like a dunk tank, but it's just you just dunk all over Fatal J's ass.
Yeah, man, I think that would be like a big show, man. Just have everybody ball on me.
You're like, I hadn't thought about it that way, but I don't like Fatal J for that either. I appreciate that. All right, what else do we got? We got Marvel losing Conan. Is this a big deal? It kind of felt like a big deal, but there's so many better Conan comic books out there right now with the Sumerian. Drew, I'm kind of glad they lost Conan.
No, I agree. I'm in the same boat. Yeah, nothing else to say about this, but goodbye, so long, farewell. Conan is kicking ass and getting laid and paid in the Sumerian right now. And if you want to read unfiltered, pure Conan, read the Cimmerian. It's fantastic. Every single issue from Ablaze has been terrific. I'm shedding no tears over this loss. So at this point, after this, Jason Aaron will officially have 0 good titles he's working on.
And that will be very difficult for him. What do you think? Is this a big deal, Josh? It seems like Conan is already public domain in Europe, so we've got the Cimmerian series and stuff. I think Marvel do they see something, the writing on the wall, or do you think they just didn't want the license anymore?
I mean, who knows? I think at the end of the day, what Drew said, they really didn't do anything great with it. I think the start of Savage Avengers was solid, but that's the only hat they have to hang anything on is that. So, I'm with him. Moving on. Thanks, bye.
Yep.
I'll see you in a better arena.
I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy that King Conan comic they put out though recently. When he was on that island fighting those zombies, that was a pretty good comic. I enjoyed it.
It was one of the few things that they got that I would somewhat recommend at these times. Although they had the controversy where they had the character that had an alias that somewhat relates to Pocahontas, and then Jason Aaron was begging everyone for forgiveness. But when you see that kind of stuff, Candace, you're like, yeah, they probably don't need the Conan IP because you can't stand up to the mob for something that simple. Conan's kind of a brutal character. He likes to bang chicks. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Go read the stories from Ablaze where they have the balls to write this stuff, unfiltered and unedited, uncensored.
You can't have that massive of a pussy writing Conan. You can't. I mean, and Jason Aaron is a massive, massive gaping pussy.
Pretty descriptive.
Yes. Like beef curtains flapping in the wind.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, it's. I find this wildly amusing, especially since they're relaunching Savage Avengers, literally to lose the character after issue 3. It's gonna be great.
Gotta feel bad for David Pepos. He's the writer. He's felt like it was gonna be one of his first big breaks.
I have no pity for him.
I read that first issue. It wasn't that great. It was okay at best. It was. We'll see what happens.
RateX7 says Marvel should have never made Conan a part of their Marvel universe since they were only licensing the character and didn't own it.
Well, yeah,
he doesn't fit in the Marvel universe. That's the problem.
He doesn't fit. Plus, they've already done this. They already have this problem with ROM and the Micronauts and a lot of the early Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. There's a lot of stuff that ends up tied up in those rights. And once you start adding things to those rights, when you're licensing, you can't use it anymore. So anything that they create in in a Savage Avengers book, you just gave to the Howard estate. You gave to whoever ends up with that license later. Or you're going to fight a massive legal battle. So good job, I guess. And good luck in having the rights to reprint shit once those rights expire. So what'd you do? You didn't do anything. You just.
But they'll get it back, though.
No, they won't.
Get Conan back eventually.
Okay, fine. In another 35 years.
Yeah, because they had him a long time ago, right?
Yeah, in the 80s. So in another 35 years, they'll get him back.
They'll get him back. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sounds
so
like
we'll worry about that.
The IP wants to make their own comic books.
They had the other dude too that was in the Conan universe. What was his name?
Solomon Kane.
No, not him. What's the other one? Cole. Didn't they have Cole for a while too?
I think they had all the Conan characters there.
All the Robert Howard.
Because I can remember the Cole versus Conan comics. Those were pretty cool too.
And they had Bellet and all the, because Marvel tried touching those and they didn't really.
Valeria was the other one.
And those were all massive flops too.
Well, because the Vallette series that they recently did was Tinny Howard, so that was just doomed, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was doomed from the start. So,
I'm glad that they lost him. They don't deserve a character like Conan. Doesn't fit the Marvel universe and what they're trying to do. We got a couple other things that we can do. We can do the DC Comics announcements, or we can talk about the Eisners. Which one would you guys like to hit?
DC announcements, to be honest.
All right, let's talk about this DC stuff.
No,
I hope you guys like Batman, because that's pretty much what we got. We got Batman One Bad Day coming out. I believe it's 8 one-shots, all 64 pages, homaging The Killing Joke. We've got Tom Taylor, Tom King, John Ridley, Mariko Tamaki, G. Willow Wilson, Jackson Lansing, and Colin Kelly, Josh Williamson. So it's mostly bad writers on that one. We've also got the end of Deceased coming. Deceased, the 3rd volume, which is going to be basically a dark side coming in and them having to defeat him. As well as we've got this kind of cool art book coming from Lieber Miho with all of his covers from Detective Comics, but they're interweaving it with some type of letters called Dear Dark Knight or Dear Batman, something like that.
Here's John.
I feel like reading the list of creators on that One Bad Day is like reading Marvel's roster of writers from 2017.
Yes. DC seems somehow have inherited every bad writer Marvel had and they got rid of. How did this happen, Josh? I mean, you were the Batman news guy. You're somewhat connected to all this stuff. Is it because of you?
No, I would make better decisions. How did this happen? How have the past 3 years happened? I mean, let's be honest. It's just like a giant shit show over there. I think they're trying so hard to recreate what was good. They even have these talks. They talk about how can we make another, and they'll list a story. And I think they're just going about it the wrong way. I do think the idea of this could be good if they reboot the universe, which they need to do. They need to reestablish the foundations of these characters, but I definitely don't want these writers doing it. I don't think I'm excited about any one of these books at all.
Absolutely. If they brought on legends to work on these characters, like, for example, the Bane One More Day, if they actually brought on, I know it won't happen, if they brought back Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan to do a Bane One Bad Day, holy shit, I would be there hook, line, and sinker. But no, these knuckleheads writing him, absolutely not. No way. How can you trust these guys to tell a good story? That everyone
Loeb and Sale to come in and do a Two-Face one.
Oh, it's dazzling. Yeah, I'm just I can't wait. Yeah,
it'll be amazing stuff. But so basically, Kenneth, Batman's your side piece. What do you feel about this one? Are you going to be diving into these One Bad Day comic books?
Well, question: Mariko Tamaki, she was on Detective, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Yes.
Now that started out good, didn't it?
It did start off
not
good.
bad.
Some of these writers have potential. I will say, if there's a chance that there's going to be a good story, there might be 2 of them, and Mariko Tamaki's might be one of them. But she seems to do well when she doesn't have to tell a long-form story. So there's hope there. But when you have the likes of Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly doing Two-Face, just shoot me in the face now, because I do not want to read that.
Shoot me in both faces.
Or anyone else touching Bane, or anyone else doing a Bane One More Day besides its creators. No, absolutely.
I mean, what I will say is, I don't even know if I want Chuck Dixon writing it, because his Bane Conquest book was not good.
The first 2 issues I thought weren't bad, and it kind of trailed off at that point. Unfortunately,
I think it was mostly a paycheck, honestly, because I think they owed him a series. Yeah, so
now,
I'm not going to completely fault him for that one.
That's completely fair.
Right. And the only thing is Tom Taylor. He's the wild card. It's like, I go back, he did that the recent Batman limited series he did with Kurt Busiek, the Andy Kubert. Or it's Andy Kubert? Right?
Yes.
That was good. If it's anything other than Batman, I'm not going to touch Tom Taylor. So, it's a Batman villain, so
don't touch Tom Taylor at all. You'll probably catch something.
Not that way.
He's doing Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul is my favorite villain, so it might be good. Maybe him ending Deceased, that is interesting, because I know that's been consistently
I like Deceased. I like Deceased Dead Planet. Some of the other side stuff that they've done that are additions to it, I didn't think were great, but they were all right.
So him closing that out is very interesting. I think he's really gonna. That's something he really loves. So
I'll definitely be reading Deceased 3.
Yeah,
be all over that one.
I think they milked that for what it's worth. I think if Tom Taylor weren't writing other books, this wouldn't be the end of Deceased, but I think it's a good thing that it is the end of Deceased because it's going to keep it relatively strong. But yeah, I'm expecting good things from that. We all know what Doc's looking forward to the most, though. It's the Mr. Freeze One Bad Day written by Jerry Duggan.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
DC Comics debut.
All right, Cullen Bunn, let's go. I'm sorry, they're still the same person.
I'm going to see if I can get you an autographed copy of that bad boy. Remember it. Put it on your wall.
Oh, I'm the only thing that would make it better. No, what I want is the Tinny Howard one. Is there one?
No.
Come on, give me a Tinny Howard one.
Look, she's writing Catwoman right now, so it might as well be.
We'll get you the trade.
Every day is a bad day with a Teeny Howard comic, so you don't need to fill it with one.
So, what are you thinking from a comic store perspective? What are you guys thinking is going to be the hot one of these? Is it going to be One Bad Day? Do you think people are more excited for Deceased, or is that Lieber Mijo art book going to be the hot one?
Honestly, I think it's going to be the Batman One Bad Day in our store. Honestly, because I'm expecting the Lieber Mijo one to be oversized, and a lot of our store collectors or buyers, they don't like that oversized stuff. They hate it.
Yeah.
So I think the Batman One Bad Day, and then Deceased will be a close second. It'll probably have some cool covers, like some horror poster homages that Stray Dogs did better. But we'll see what happens.
They're going to be homaging X-Men #1 from Jim Lee on Deceased, I believe.
Oh, fascinating! That's original.
No one's done that before.
Nope.
We can get
Our store never did it.
A cheap ploy to get my money.
It's pretty good stuff. I don't know. It's just so frustrating, Fatal J, where essentially everything DC does now is just Batman related.
Hey, it is some hidden gems out there. Have y'all been reading Dark Knights of Steel? That's a pretty good book.
Not really.
I love it. I'm having a good time with that. But I'm an Elseworld type of guy. Too.
Well, you got the guy that created Injustice Superman writing a comic book about an evil Superman, and you like Snyder Cut. I kind of put them all together.
Well, Injustice was dope. Did nobody like Injustice? I love the Injustice comic books. Y'all didn't like that?
No, I did. I thought they were really good.
It was all right.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but it's not Superman.
Year 1 and 2 were excellent, but for what it was. And then everyone and their dog decided they want to jump on that bandwagon and do like Rage Superman, and then I'm over it. Like, I'm done.
This is my problem with Dark Knights of Steel, Fatal J. I am a huge fantasy fan. I'm reading the Hobbit to my kids right now. I've read like almost all the Shannara books. I really like fantasy stuff. I really like fantasy comic books. Tom Taylor forgot that, like, when you're writing fantasy and you're in a fantasy realm, like the language changes and there's some things that you do with the characters, and I just don't think he had enough fun with it. I don't think he adapted it to fantasy well enough. Otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah, I could see that.
What are you going to talk about, Fatal J?
Nothing else. I mean, that's the only thing I'm interested in right now when it comes to DC. DC haven't wowed me. I'm waiting on that big event.
You need to read World's Finest, Batman, Superman, World's Finest.
Oh, I'm reading that too with Dan Mora.
Yeah. Fuck Mark Wade.
I'm reading that too. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm reading that too. Yeah.
I will say that I might be in the minority here, but I am looking forward to the Lieber Mijo book. I do agree with Drew. I think it'll be oversized, and I think a lot of people won't get it. I'm hoping that if it is oversized, even if it's a short book, they go ahead and make it a hardcover, because I think
you can put it on your coffee table, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful book. And look, I will say Lieber Mijo, great guy, super nice, incredibly talented, and he doesn't, fall into all the bullshit that goes on in comics. So, he deserves support, and I think he'll have a good book with good themes. I don't think you're gonna have much of a story, but you're gonna have good themes represented, and I'm okay with that.
You know what? If you ever want something really fun from Lee to read, go find a trade paperback, or you can find the individual issues of the Batman Death Blow After the Fire. It was a sort of crossover between Death Blow from Wildstorm and obviously Batman.
The art style is different.
Lee did all the interiors on that.
Yeah, he's really talented. I like his covers even more than Alex Ross.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks about Alex Ross being like the photorealistic cover guy. I think Lee Bermejo is better. He throws a lot of tone in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just with Alex Ross, a lot of his guys. I mean, I didn't really notice until later. Almost every guy looks like he's a punchy middle-aged man, and it's just like it's getting kind of.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, Drew. You're going to be this way one day too.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're going to get a fat beer belly on you too. Trust me.
Hey, I got a question. Is George Jimenez? I hope I'm saying his name right. Is he still Jimenez? Is he doing any DC comic books?
He says he's going to be the artist for the Chip Zdarsky Batman run.
Because anything he does, I pick up.
Well,
he does great.
We're going to get to enjoy his artwork of Bruce Wayne spooning. You know, some guy. So it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
But speaking of Alex Ross, Doc, I did want to ask you a question. You were talking about J. Scott Campbell and his covers. Does Campbell make more money on his covers than Alex Ross does?
That's a good question.
Yes, very likely, because A, he does more. Mm-hmm. And B, he has his own online store. I don't think Alex
does. Yeah.
He does?
Yeah, I follow his. I'm a member of his whatever the hell it is, and Alex Ross has a museum too.
Yeah, he has a museum. I mean, look, he also he's not going to do 6 covers for one for like the new Amazing Spider-Man #1 or Amazing Fantasy 1000. He's not going to do 6 covers for his store plus the one that he's doing for Marvel.
No, it'll typically be one. It'll be a trade dress and a Virgin cover. That's it.
Yeah. And that's if he's not doing. That's only on the months where he's not really doing one, for
Iron Man.
Yeah, for Iron Man or Captain America, or whatever title he's assigned to at that. Because he normally does what, like he's normally doing 2 different titles at a time, where he's the regular cover artist.
Yeah, he was doing Immortal Hulk, and then he was also doing Captain America
and Thor.
Yeah,
was he doing Thor too?
Yeah, he was doing Thor too.
And then he was doing ASM and I think Captain America for a while. So he normally has 2 or 3 cover gigs, so that's on the month. So maybe he can fit a 4th painting into a month to do his own book.
What's that?
Where's his museum located, Alex Ross?
It's in Northern Illinois. I went there for an autograph signing he did. Let me pull it up.
That would be something I would love to go visit.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You're going to drive from Texas to Illinois to go to the Alex Ross Museum?
Man, look here. Me and my wife, we at the traveling stage of our lives, sir. So, yes, we would.
Don't they have, like, bus and figure, like, life-size statues and stuff, too?
Yes, they do. It's in Libertyville, Illinois.
Libertyville, Illinois. I've never been there in my life.
You can visit Abraham Lincoln's log cabin where he grew up while you're out there. It would be a whole trip.
One of the coolest things, in my opinion, it's hard to find. He's got I've got it right here on my phone here. Let me turn on my camera. He's got a plaster bust of the thing. He's got a stogie in his mouth. He's got a flipping stogie.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's hard to find.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That would have been pre-Casada.
Yes.
All right, fellas. Are we done talking about this, or is it time to wrap it up? That expression says yes to me. Let's talk about some comic books to recommend and get excited about. Beto J, what comic books are you recommending?
I'm actually reading a Superman comic book, Action Comic 957, I believe. It's a store where Superman has came back to Metropolis, but they don't believe it's Superman. And
you're reading the Dan Jurgens run from Rebirth.
Lex Luthor is the Superman of Metropolis, and it's fun, man. I'm having a good time reading that run. So that's what I'm reading right now.
Definitely good. If people want to support Ninja Blast, you mentioned it earlier. What should they be looking out for?
Ninja Blast is probably coming in the end of the year. I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm gonna make sure the book is done before I launch it, because I don't want to be one of these guys who launch a book and then 2 or 3 years later the book come out. I'm trying to take my script from Timothy Lynn, the Iconic Comic Guys, and have my book done and just ship it to everybody.
Very
and
nice.
I hope I didn't offend anybody out there.
Who else we got? Kenneth Dowling, what do you recommend people read this week?
Batman the Night, issue 5. I dug this issue as much as I dug the last issue. With the last issue, he's doing his martial arts training. Here, learning in this issue, he's learning
the power of seduction.
That's right. Seduction, espionage. Look,
gay chicken.
Gay chicken.
I don't know. Look, he's just doing seduction. I don't think he's gay. Some of you disagree, but that's cool. I enjoyed the discussion we had about this book, and I still love it. So I recommend this. And World's Finest, issue 3.
That's the one.
Great comic book action and fun. At first, I thought it was a little busy, but then when you compare it to all the other crap out there, they slow pacing and everything.
James Tynan has gotten you used to really slow ass, boring comic books.
Yes.
World's Finest will put hair back on your balls, sir.
Yes.
And
hair on my chest, baby. Yeah.
And fuck Mark Wade.
The guy made some mistakes.
Real quick, but
like
real
get some KY and just ram it.
Real quick, Wes. The artist Lee, I forget his last name.
Burbino?
I'm interested. Yeah. How he draws Batman, I agree, much better than Alex Ross. A street level, gritty Batman, I really like it. And he would murder Daredevil. That's all I'm going to say.
And he doesn't have, underwear on the outside. So Fatal J should probably like that design. He's always in kind of leather. Very nice. Goblin says the Book of Gogor is officially launched on Kickstarter. Please help Ken Gehring to bring the project to life. Spread the word. Well, definitely go check out Kickstarter and support independent comic books. There's a lot of cool projects out on Kickstarter and on Indiegogo. If you're not having a good time at Marvel and DC or maybe some of the stuff on the indie scene, go check them out. There's a lot of great comic books. There's a lot of great creators that need the support so they can get their comic books out to market. So I definitely support that. All right, Doc, what do you recommend this week?
I am recommending the Wolverine patch #2. Surprisingly solid. Larry Hama's finally, I think, back in the groove with that. His issues of X-Men Legends were underwhelming, and then the first issue was okay. But I feel like he's finally getting in the groove of his classic Wolverine writing again. And Venom Lethal Protector #2 was solid. And I think out of all of the fucking X-Men books that came out, because there were a lot.
Yep.
Immortal X-Men was actually probably the best of all of them that are set in current plant shit world. But otherwise that's really it. King Spawn, actually. King Spawn's been pretty good.
Oh yeah, and Cowboy Spawn too, right?
Gunslinger Spawn.
Gunslinger Spawn.
Yes, but that didn't come out this week.
But that art is incredible. I'm just talking about the run period. Brett
Booth.
Got it right here in my reading pile. There we go.
Brett Booth been killing it like the 90s with that comic book, man.
Brett's great, and he's still doing great work on Gunslinger Spawn. I'd love to see him. I still want to see him back on X-Men again.
Neostar Productions, Fatal J for mayor.
Yes, sir.
For
president. I'm running for president next year. I mean, in 4 years. Make sure to vote for me. I'll make sure everybody get free comics. How about that?
President of what?
Yeah.
Would you vote for me, Doc, if I give you free comics every month?
It depends on what comics they are.
Yeah.
If
You
you're
probably
giving me
give us a bunch of
modern
crappy
comics,
cabinet.
no,
Yeah.
I'd be like, why are you giving? I don't have birds.
Why do you
I
hate
don't
me?
need-
All,
I don't need birdcage liner. Like,
Toilet paper, Doc.
do you hate me? No.
all
paper, Doc.
nerds get to see at least one Marvel or DC movie for free. Just one.
Again, no.
Yeah.
Do you hate me?
No more underwear on comic book characters either.
No.
Okay, yeah. Now you really hate me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, I will. I will
No,
literally
whatever.
vote for anyone but you at that point.
I'm just
Yeah, Fatal J is giving out free Tinny Howard comics.
Yeah.
Vote for Fatal J. Okay. What else we got? We got Josh. You recommended anything this week? It was a lighter week in Batman, I guess.
I mean, like, you know, you definitely need to go pick up Catwoman by Teenie Howard, pick up Shadow Warzone, epic writing. You got Angel by Chris Kent Lightwell. Oh, it's all good. No, those suck. Don't pick those up. World's Finest, definitely pick it up. The Good Asian Volume 2 dropped. Go pick that up. It's a great indie book. I feel like I'm missing something. I always get to this point and I get my weeks mixed up. Well, because I'm reading ahead and then I'm also behind. Oh, I forgot to, throw Spider-Punk out there. Oh, The Flash. The Flash is still being consistent. Jeremy Adams, if you haven't been reading his run, he deserves some recognition. He deserves you to check out his work, especially before his run ends. So, yeah.
It's definitely worth your time. Now, obviously, Drew and myself will be talking about the very best comic books of the week tomorrow. A little bit more detail. I think we're going to be talking about 9 comic books. This is a big week. But as far as recommendations, so thank you very much. Drew, do you have anything else to say regarding anything?
There are a couple things I'm going to recommend people check out if you can. The complete works of Robert E. Howard, Conan. Check this out. It's amazing. Shadow Man.
That doesn't look like a comic book.
Nope, it's not. It's a
Are you trying to get me to read words?
Yes, read words. Yes. And Shadow Man by Colin Bunn, which was not nominated, which should have been, and King of Spies. King of Spies, not
beautiful.
Well,
is that Shadow Man? That's Valiant. That's Valiant.
Mm-hmm. It's the best Valiant comic they've done in 3 or 4 years.
I agree because their art is.
Drew, we just need to start our own award, like our own award group, like just.
Absolutely.
Jays.
No, Fatal J will have no say. No, actually, Fatal J recommends something.
Eating a breakfast burrito is what you get.
If Jay recommends something, it's automatic disqualification. Yeah.
But Josh, that Nightwing artist that you like, he does deserve that award nomination.
I completely agree. Like, I completely agree with that. Bruno Redondo, he deserves some recognition.
But I'm pissed. J.H. Williams, his series on Echolands wasn't even nominated.
Right?
Sean Gordon Murphy, what's up? No love for Sean Gordon Murphy. Come on, man.
I don't think White Knight came out until this year, so it had to come out in 2021.
But it's a crime. J.H. Williams wasn't even nominated, not even for art for his series. It is a straight up crime. That is, wrong. They need to be admonished for what they did.
Wait, White Knight didn't come out in didn't they have a White Knight stuff in 2021?
No. I don't even believe, because I think
the Harley Quinn one did with Katana Collins, right? Maybe
with his wife.
Yeah,
but he didn't illustrate it.
No.
So there you go. Thank you very much to everybody for joining us. Had a lot of fun talking comic books and deal with Jay's nonsense, but we're still friends, Fatal J. I don't know why. Everybody have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Fuck soon.